All right, good evening, everyone. Pet Man Matt Moore here. Welcome to another edition of Football Focus Weekly. Very excited tonight. We got a great show lined up. We're going to run through it real quick. Getting ready to start after the intro. We're going to talk to Maurice Flowers, the head coach at Fort Valley State in Georgia. That's going to be a really good conversation. 8 o'clock, we're going to have our CFI players of the game. We got a ton of players. A lot of guys did some great things at week one. We're going to talk about those guys and highlight them. 8:30, we got the rapid review. We're going to look back at week one, get the guys' commentary on what they saw. 8:40, we got the Blitz game previews of week two, Cabarrus, Mecklenburg, Gaston counties. 9 o'clock, we got game predictions this week. Forgot about it last week. We're going to do game predictions this week. 9:15, we're going to talk about the Garinger situation. I've had a lot of people reach out to me asking about, what we're going to talk about. 9:15, you'll see. 9:30, we debut Pet Man CMS Best To Last. That is the ranking of all CMS schools in Charlotte-Mecklenburg schools, 19 of them. And then 9:40, we'll finish up with the slime. So settle in, get your popcorn. Hello, D. Charlotte J. Good to see you on the show. And here we go. Let's have a good show, guys. Wayne King on South Tryon Street is number one. And I'm going to tell you why. Pet Man's Fried Chicken rankings. And we're going to do 4 restaurants. I see Fred is laughing in the background.
My sound off is actually about, I'm going back to the Panther fans. And you know why?
Queen of CFI, sound off.
So much disrespect with mighty Coach Billups, and I'm here to sign off about it.
I can tell you how the Panther season gonna be.
Oh, I got a rule in life, man. There are a couple rules I live by in life. One rule is never pass by Bojangles without stopping. A second rule of life is get play sauce, it'll save your life. Third rule of life, don't trust white girls. The number one most annoying group of people who don't put their buggies back in their little buggy aisles at the grocery store.
Touchdown, Nation Falcons! Where did I agree to get 211 text messages a day about the election? What did I agree to get calls every 7 seconds?
I'm gonna sound off on myself. All my teams stink. Oh my God, we have the caption Cowboy Joe on there now. Good grief.
Charlotte Football Insider, Football Focus Weekly. All right, good evening, everyone. This is the Pet Man Matt Morrow. Welcome to Football Focus Weekly, and we are getting ready to bring on the head coach at Fort Valley State in Georgia, Maurice Flowers. A lot of you guys are excited to see him come on the show tonight, so we're gonna bring him on right now. All right, Coach, how we doing?
Doing good, Pet Man. Thank you for having me. You and Coach McClamrock. It's a pleasure to be here.
Absolutely, man. We thank you for taking some time out of your busy schedule. I know you got practice going on and getting ready to play. I think you said March 27th, right, Coach?
Yes, sir. March 27th. We'll line it up against Shorter University.
All right. Good deal. Good deal. All right. So let's get into it, man. First off, let's take it back a little bit, back to your high school days, because you're a Charlotte native.
Yes.
And you played quarterback at East Meck, man. So just talk about that experience a little bit with us.
Wow. Well, I moved to Charlotte when I was in 9th grade, went to Randolph Middle School, and then went to East Mecklenburg and had the pleasure to play for Coach Rudy Abrams. Coach Abrams taught me how to run that option, and we had some success there. And then just loved playing Charlotte football. See, all of these high schools that are in Charlotte now, when I was in high school, you played the 10 schools that were in Charlotte. We'd have one out-of-conference game, which was Richmond County, game one, and then you would play everyone else in Charlotte at that time. And Charlotte football, it was similar to the way it is right now. It's the top football in the state of North Carolina and Charlotte and the Charlotte area, and that has not changed. You just look at football in Charlotte then and now. Most of the time, going to the state championship games, it's people from Charlotte and the area knocking each other off to go fight for the crown. And I'm just glad to say that I'm from Charlotte and played high school football there, and I'll always recruit Charlotte.
Absolutely. And I can attest to that because, we had both of our camps and, we've been in communication about, some good players that, came to our camp. So, that's an awesome, you're a man of your word. Absolutely, Coach.
Yes, sir.
All right. So let's talk about your time, coaching in CMS. You coached at Olympic, you coached at West Charlotte. Talk about those days a little bit. And do you miss, coaching high school football at all?
Well, I tell you, I'm always going to be a high school head coach. That way I coach college ball, I haven't changed any since I was a high school head coach. As you said, I started off at Olympic, but before Olympic, my first start in coaching I was an assistant at Myers Park High School in 1996. Boy, that seems like a long time ago. I remember one time I was called an up and coming young coach. I guess I'm just an experienced coach now, I'll say, not older coach. But after I was an assistant at Myers Park, I had the privilege, my wife allowed us to move to Texas in the Metroplex. And I was an assistant in one of the top programs in Texas at Duncanville High School in the Dallas Metroplex. And I really learned so much there. And then I came back in 2001 to be the head coach at Olympic High School. When I was there 6 years, had the opportunity to build that program. We were a 4A school, but we had really about 2A numbers because a new school, Waddell, was just built, and it took like half the student body. So we took some lumps early, but before we left Olympic, we really had built that program into something special. And Olympic High School will always be special to me. I remember our first year, we had 18 kids on JV. My last year, we had over 80. So I can say we built that program to be strong. And then the 1 year at West Charlotte, wow, just so much talent. And then just the tradition of West Charlotte High School that some of my best friends went there to West Charlotte. I competed against them, and to be the head coach at that tradition-rich school was always going to be a special time in my life. And then from there and going on to Chester High School, man, that was wonderful to go to Chester for 2 years, right across the border, and take them to a state championship game. It's been wonderful to just be in the area, to be a head coach, and to really be part of how special Charlotte and Charlotte area football is.
Absolutely, man. You talk about that Olympic JV. I remember I was the JV head coach at Harding.
Yes,
I remember particularly 1 year, you guys came over there, and for some reason, I gave the best pregame speech of my life. We came out there, we ran the open kick off back. We got up 7-0. I was fired up, and then y'all just steadily just marched down the field, and I steadily calmed down the rest of that game. We ended up losing, but
well, as you talk about the JVs, that's why I say the way I coach college balls is really like I coach high school, is that it starts from the JV. And in college, I believe in recruiting the high school young man. And everybody's into the transfer portal, and we'll have a couple of transfers. You just because of need, but I'm a high school coach that coaches college ball. I'm going to recruit high school players and develop them.
Absolutely. And that's how it should be done. I love that, Coach. Now let's talk about college coaching. You've been at a couple places: Johnson C. Smith, Fayetteville State, now at Fort Valley. Talk about those experiences with the
Wow. Well, I was at Chester for 2 years, and I jumped into college at my alma mater, Johnson C. Smith University, and we were a struggling program. And then in the second year, we went to a Division II bowl game and won a bowl. And then I moved on to Shaw University in Raleigh. And after 2 years at Shaw University, we had some outstanding teams and offenses there. I went to Miles College in the SIAC, the conference I'm currently in, and we won a SIAC championship there, and spent a little time with Mike Minner at Campbell University, and then spent a little time in the SWAC conference at Mississippi Valley State. And as you mentioned, Fayetteville State, wow, just had the opportunity again to build a program. I was an offensive coordinator there for Coach Richard Hayes. And for the last 3 years, Fayetteville State has went to the CIAA championship game. And what I will say is, my recruiting area was Charlotte. the Charlotte area. And if you look at that Fayetteville State roster, you're going to see a lot of kids from the Charlotte metro area. And that's really what some of the foundation of that Fayetteville State football team is. And now I'm the head coach at Fort Valley State University in Georgia, a member of the SIAC conference. Just came out that we'll be playing our first game on Labor Day Sunday, September the 5th, against Tuskegee University, and will be called the Red Tail Classic, representing as paying tribute to the Tuskegee Airmen. And it'll be on ESPNU, and we're excited about that game for our first game coming out of COVID to be nationally televised with HBCU Classic. We couldn't be more excited for that game against Tuskegee. So, but again, hey, I've got some Charlotte area guys on my football team. I recruited one young man that's he went to North Meg High School and he went to Johnson C. Smith, and he is one of my transfers. Young man named Emmanuel Wilson. He was the Rookie of the Year in the CIAA conference, and he's down here. And what a Charlotte product to have. And I am still recruiting Charlotte. Look, I was home not long ago, and it just seems so odd to be watching high schools practice in the spring. But I was able to get a jump on some recruiting and making some rounds.
Yeah, man. Emmanuel Wilson. I mean, I remember, covering him when he was at North, man. I mean, he was just a talent that was, just so under the radar. And,
yes,
you could tell he was going to, prosper at the next level. So I'm glad, he's down there with you. And I know he's going to do big things just like he did at Smith.
Yes,
so we got our buddy Kenny McClamrock ready. And he's going to come on and ask you a question or two, Coach.
Sure. Coach McClamrock.
Coach, what's up, brother?
Hey, brother, I'm doing good, man. Coach, before you ask your question, I just want to say you are for kids, man. I don't care where I have been. You fight for your kids. You fight for your kids, and you're about them going to the next level, man. And I can just say I'm glad I know you, and I'm glad to see how you just won't stop. You'll make calls. You for whatever level, Division I, Division II, junior college. Man, you're what coaching is all about. You're what coaching is all about, Coach.
Coach, that means a lot coming from you. I was just thinking back when you were talking about your days at the Olympic. I was a brand new coach at North Mecklenburg with Glenn Padgett, and we went to a scrimmage over with you guys. And I remember sitting on the sideline. We were supposed to be warming up, and I'm watching your offense go. And I remember thinking, man, I want to be like that offense right there. It was just so fun to watch. I was at North Meck when you guys made that great run at West Charlotte you just talked about, and of course have followed you since your time there, and have tried to get you to recruit our guys, and of course you have. But Coach Ben, you talked about all these different places that you've been. You've been a high school coach, you've been a college coach, you've been at the Division I level, you're now a Division II head coach. What is something that you've learned since those days back at Olympic when you were a young up-and-coming coach, to use your words, at Olympic, to now being the head man of the Division II program down in Georgia? What is something that you've learned? How have you grown as a coach?
Wow, that fundamentals win games, and fundamentals, no matter what level, is fundamentals, and then young men that are coachable and that know how to take coaching, and guys that really they can take coaching, and then they're not high rep guys, because time is of the essence, even more in college, because you're limited so much. So what I think that I've learned is just trying to find different ways to reach young men and how you teach them, and really how you develop relationships with them, because that's really what coaching is. It's developing relationships. And so I think that, X's and O's, everybody has them, but it's really how do you teach and being an effective teacher. And that's what it's all about. And being a relationship builder, Coach. That's it.
Yes, I love it. Pat mentioned it earlier. People have been coming to me, Coach, when are you guys going to get Coach Flowers on the show? You're still so respected in the 704 area code, man. And, Coach, I'm looking forward to all the great things that you guys are going to do down at Fort Valley State.
Coach, thank you so much. And, Coach, the Charlotte area is just so special to me because I'm from there. And, Coach, the football is so great. Just go back to 2000. From 2000 to now, how many state champions have come from Charlotte area?
Almost every year.
Charlotte area, you're talking about Gastonia area, you're talking about up where you just finished that, coach, in the Cabarrus County area. And then if it's not the state championship game, they've probably knocked each other off. And it's just a testament to the high school coaching. It's just a testament to it. And, I'm sure we'll talk about it, but, there's different states that put more resources in it. And I'm sure you guys have talked about it, that Charlotte and CMS and how we're lacking in that area. But despite us lacking in some of the resources that other states have, we still put out top products. And that go Division I all over the country, Division II, FCS, whatever. But the Charlotte area athlete is an athlete that can play anywhere in the country and play at the top level.
I've said it many times. You put Charlotte area coaches in those biggest schools in Texas and Alabama, and they'll win football games, because you're right. Charlotte coaches do a lot more with oftentimes a lot less. And of course, we've seen the inequalities here in Charlotte as far as facilities and other parts of the nation. But Coach, thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, Kenny. Appreciate it, man. All right, Coach. Let's get a little focus on recruiting here. So you have any tips for, first of all, the class of 2021 kids that are just now playing here in Charlotte that, we're talking about, and then 2022 kids also. And then what do you look for, for players that are, looking at attending Fort Valley State?
Okay. Well, I'll start with the first part of your question is 21. Your film is always going to speak the most. I mean, you can send, as many emails as you want and manage to get someone on Twitter or phone calls, but your film is going to be the biggest factor in your evaluation. And there's home. It's just COVID-19 has caused so many changes with families that just going to have big decisions to make, because there's going to be a lot of football players, high school football players, and families that have to make a decision whether you go to a junior college, whether you go to a prep school, whether you go to a school and you're not playing the first semester. Because what's happened is, every school is different. Every school has a different plan in how they're approaching recruiting. But I know in our situation, we're going to have a lot of our seniors, because we know COVID caused everyone to get another year of eligibility. It's helped young men graduate on the college level also. So we'll have a lot of young men that will graduate in December, which will make scholarships available in January. So that's what you're going to end up seeing, a lot of young men that finish after this season and graduate. Some of them might not go to school until January when the scholarship is available. And then what I would just say to parents and young men is, if you're looking the junior college route, really research them, because some junior college won't tell you till you get there that there's an out-of-state limit and you might not be able to play but 3 or 4 games because they have to play the in-state people. And just be well-versed on everything. And then prep schools are getting so many, they're going to get a bunch of kids because kids want to get re-recruited. But sometimes these things aren't free. So I really, really sympathize with some of the families and the decisions that they have to make through no fault of their own, but things that were caused through COVID-19. But what we're doing at Fort Valley State University is we're steady recruiting. You have to recruit. Whether you're bringing them in or not, because things happen. And some of what we do, we have what we call an active roster, and then we have what's called a school start roster. And our active roster are those young men that are here going through everything now. And, you have to anticipate, things happening, or guys that scholarships are 1 year. They're not like when I was younger and Pep Man and Coach McClamrock, when we were in school, they were 4 years, but scholarships are 1 year renewable, or we'll say non-renewable. And so in April, there will be many discussions whether some young men won't be coming back. And, again, the transfer portal is big, but I'm not really a big one into that, because I want to build. I think some people, it's to each his own. But if you go to the transfer portal for myself, it's not for us, because I want to develop the young men, and young men coming out of the transfer portal, they're looking to play right now. And I want a young man to come in and earn everything he's going to get. He's going to earn it. And so that's just our philosophy. We want high school kids, and we're going to continue to recruit them.
As well said, Coach. As well said. I'm just soaking up everything you're saying, man. It's awesome stuff, man. So last thing, Coach, the effects of COVID-19 on your program. What has it done? How did you have to adjust? How did you change? And just where are you because, of COVID-19?
Wow. I'll tell you what it has done. I mean, first off, just everyone stay safe. I don't have a mask on right now because I'm in my office by myself. But within our program, we're tested 3 times a week.
Mm-hmm.
We have scanners, temperature scanners, as you walk in every place of our facility. And, that's how one thing that we do. And we send out reminders every morning about social distancing, symptoms. If you have a symptom when you wake up, you go straight to get tested. You don't come to the facility. Those are some of the things that we do. Going into the locker room at different times. Heck, when you lift weights, in our racks, we have a very nice weight room, but you have your limited numbers in the weight room.
Mm-hmm.
Cleaning and spraying down the foggers and having a certain amount of time before you go in. It's caused you to really, I thought the Lord blessed me to be a great planner, and I'm thankful for that. That it's just caused you to really have a detailed plan for every minute, every hour of your day with your program. And so that's what I can say about it. And one thing about it is, one thing I can say is that we've had an opportunity to grow as a team and grow together. If one thing I tell our coaches is that if we're missing assignments on our installs, boy, we've got a problem teaching. We've been over this stuff over and over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that you have to be careful of, because sometimes you want to think that we've been over so much. Do we add more? But we're not going to add more. But what I can say this is what COVID has done for us is it's caused us to really focus on weights and really just focus on the fundamentals and focus on our health, and then really focus on academics. And I don't want to get off here without talking about our academics. When I took over in January of 20, at that time, Fort Valley State football program had 22 young men with a 3.0 or better and no 4.0s. But 1 year later, after our academic plan that we put in place, we have more than 44 young men that have over a 3.0 GPA.
Wow.
And 4 with a 4.0. So what I can say is it's really helped us focus on academics and going towards graduation. And really, we haven't won any games, but I tell you what, each one of those is a championship for us. And I'm so proud of our team, of our support staff, of our coaches, and the attention that we give our young men in pursuing their degree and being strong in what we say. And I want to say this too. There was a study done, it's been the last 10 years, of championship teams that have won the national championship. And they've studied that those teams had at least 40% of their team that had more than a 3.0 GPA. So if you look at Alabama this year, they had 48 young men with a 3.0 or above. So we share those type of things with our team. If you're a smarter team, you're going to win more. And so those are some of the things that we impart in our young men, and that they take their academics seriously. So that's a positive that's come out of this situation, is being able to focus more on academics, because you don't have all the football practice time, preparation time. And so that's the most positive thing that's COVID has happened to us. And as far as football goes, we're a talented group of guys. We're just ready to go against someone else. And again, everything for us is recruiting. When we recruit high school young men, it is really good to say that when you're coming in to add quality depth and fight for playing time. If I'm talking to a high school young man about coming in and starting, I don't have a very good college football team, because college is you're playing against grown men. If you're 17, 18, come out of high school and you line down against someone that's 21, 22, 23, you're going to feel the difference over the course of the game. Okay. And so it's good to be able to see older young men with us, and then coaching up the young men that we brought into the program.
Absolutely. Coach, I'll tell you, a lot of people are, excited. The numbers are just crazy for people that are watching this live right now. I'm going to put a couple comments up. Dwayne Lucky, he said to Kenny,
Coach
let me bring Kenny into. Said, Ken, y'all got my dog on. So,
well, I promise, Buck, he's blowing my phone up. He keeps saying, "Please give Mo my praises." That's my man. I've got like 15 texts of Coach Lucky. I told you, I'd let Coach Flowers know, big dog.
Yes, sir. Coach Lucky, he's doing an outstanding job at Mississippi Valley State as the recruiting coordinator. And guys, look at Coach Lucky. He's coming into the Charlotte area, and offering young men and getting them to come out there. Again, any place in the country, Charlotte area guys can play. I'm telling you, I've been there, I've been around, and I'll tell you, I always go to Charlotte, and it's great to hear other college coaches talk about the Charlotte area and go and recruit the area. So what I will say is high school coaches to keep doing a great job. Parents keep doing a great job. I've got several coaches that coach with me that are trainers in the area. Keep training them up because you guys are doing a good job. You're respected nationally for what you do in Charlotte, and the Charlotte football product, the Charlotte area, you could go anywhere and play. There's great football in Georgia. There is. But I tell you what, we take some Charlotte schools down here and doggone give them all what that they worth now. So, and I'm proud to be able to say that. And I speak about my hometown and the football there loud and proud. I'll always be a Charlotte native. I'm always going to recruit the Charlotte area. If I don't have someone from Charlotte on my football team, I've done something wrong. And so, you know, they're academically sound and they're fundamentally sound. So, you know, I'm always going to recruit the Charlotte area, always, and look forward to having them. And they better represent me the right doggone way too.
We had Olympic DC Darren Hart, good stuff. Joe Glass, head coach at Lincoln, big time Flowers.
Coach Glass.
Coach,
great coaches.
Oh, yeah.
Doggone Coach Hart. He used to be at Winston-Salem State now. He was an outstanding coach at Winston-Salem State when they were winning championships. Outstanding coach. Coach Glass, a program builder. He's going to build Lincoln. You watch. Y'all know he's going to do a great job there. Just so many good coaches in the area, man. I'm looking forward to us getting our game over with so I can start coming home. Because my wife and children are still in Charlotte, guys. Charlotte's still my home. So I'm there. That's why I was able to come and watch about 8 to 10 schools while I was home before I came back when we started. So Charlotte's home. And I'm looking forward to coming home and seeing everyone. And guys, you all contact me. You know, I'm probably the most down-to-earth guy you're going to have. And I'm going to be around, and you're going to see me at some ball games. Come up to me and speak. I look forward to it. And I'll be recruiting Charlotte. That's for sure.
Awesome. Good deal, Coach. Hey, I need a couple tickets for that Red Tail Classic you were talking about.
Looking forward to. Just let me know. Come on down to Montgomery. We're excited for it. We are.
Awesome. Good deal.
Yes,
well,
sir.
Coach, thank you so much for coming on tonight, man. Of course, we'll talk, you know, as we always do. And, you know, we'll see you again real soon, man. Thank you so much.
Good. Thank you for having me, guys. Coach McClamrock, you all take care. Thank you.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it. All right. So that was head coach Maurice Flowers joining us from Fort Valley State. I'll tell you, one of the best coaches interviews that we've done. Let me bring everyone else that's here right now. Brandon is apparently the minute. Oh, there he is. Okay. A little worried about that. I know what was going on over there.
No, I'm here, man.
But guys, wasn't that like the best coaching interview we've done? I mean, that was awesome, man. I mean, it really was.
Good.
You know, there are just some coaches who know how to do it the right way, and Coach Flowers does it the right way. He's lined the fields, he's cut the grass, he's did the laundry, and now he's a Division II head football coach. He knows what it's like. He knows where great football is being played. He's a heck of a recruiter. Love Coach Flowers.
Absolutely, man. A couple more comments. Terrence Laws, Coach Mo. If you didn't see everything, Terrence, make sure you go back and watch the playback. You know, it'll be up when we're done tonight, about maybe 9:45. I posted about the JV game of the week. I'm gonna address it real quick. I've got you guys coming on the live show to come out to this game. I'll have an announcement tonight on Instagram after the show's up about where we're going for the JV game. And
I got my money.
And our varsity game. I forgot we haven't announced that. So stay tuned for that after. Okay. All right. But now it is time to do what we came to do tonight, which is promote kids. And we're going to get the screen up because we got a lot of kids to highlight. And this is going to be the CFI players of the game. And I'm going to go – Kenny, I'm going to let you go with your guys first as soon as I get this on the screen here. All right. All right, Kenny, we'll go solo to you, then we'll come back with the other guys. So.
I've talked about Elijah Horton a lot so far on this show. Elijah Horton, I think he's one of the top players in the area. Definitely, I think he's the top player in Cabarrus County. He does everything. He plays linebacker. He played running back the other night. In fact, Central's running back got hurt early on in the game. Elijah moved into the running back spot. He ran for over 90 yards, including the game-winning touchdown and the game-winning two-point conversion for the walk-off win in overtime. Elijah, I texted him Saturday night and told him, dude, you played like the freaking Ultimate Warrior, because that's what he looks like out there. If you remember the Ultimate Warrior, that's Elijah. He never got tired. He's hype, and he's just getting after it every single play. And then in person, I got to see Bryson Mason. We've talked about Bryson on this show a lot. Man, Bryson, I thought was could possibly be one of the top defensive players in the county. There's a good one over in the Kelly green and white, but I think that Bryson Mason is one of the top defensive players in the area. He does it all. He plays on offense. He returns kicks. He returns punts. He had a 94-yard, not quite a pick six, Pep, but he did have a 94-ish yard interception. He got tackled on about the 1-yard line, but it did seal the victory. He had several big returns on special teams, and I thought that he cleaned up a lot of mistakes for tired players, for J.M. Robinson, that were having to play both ways. He made up for a lot of guys being in the wrong position on defense, making tackles at and near the line of scrimmage, had a couple tackle for losses. So kudos, Bryson Mason and Elijah Horton in Cabarrus County.
That's a great job, guys. Excellent stuff, man. Thank you, Kenny, for highlighting those two very talented young men. All right, so let's go now to – well, let me get my technical skills right. Bear with me 1 second. There we go. All right. Cherie Glenn, she was at the Vance Mallard Creek game, the biggest game in the area. I'm going to let her talk about this talented young man. My goodness, Avarion Cole. So, Cherie, you got the floor.
Well, obviously there were a lot of good players at this game, especially on that defense. But Avarion Cole was just one that I just kept seeing, every time the quarterback went down, it was him, or a combination of him and someone else, that did it. And he was just all over the field, that, like I said, that defense, that they were very active that game, but especially him, he did a lot. And so I just wanted to highlight him because I wasn't able to interview them last week. And so I had to shout him out.
Yeah, a little cold, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Wait for the slime.
Can't wait. Thank you, Cherie. I'm gonna tell you, he's a heck of a player too, man. I just love watching him fly around and make those big hits. And yeah, he's a good one, man. All right, thanks, Cherie. Okay, player analyst Justin Adams gonna be coming on in just a minute. He's got a couple players to highlight, but let me start with mine. So first off, I'm going to go with Chandler Meeks, quarterback at Ashbrook, 2 total touchdowns in the game against Berry. He threw one and he ran one. He was, making plays with his feet all night long, dual threat kid, not the biggest kid. He's got a pretty big offensive line. So, in some ways it kind of makes it tougher, but his heart and his leadership showed all night long. Wanted to highlight that young man for what he did in that game against Berry. Jaleel Quick with Berry. We talked to him after the game. Berry won that game 31-13, 2 TD passes. One was a quick screen to another kid we're going to highlight here in just a second. And then we also had the great touchdown pass before halftime that kind of opened the game up a little bit to Adrian Kirkpatrick. Leadership, ability to move around in the pocket, just an overall great job, by that young man. All right, the kid that had the first touchdown quick through was Jeremiah Palmer for Berry. We talked about Berry and we highlighted some of their receivers in the preseason, and we didn't highlight this young man. This shows how much skill talent is over there, man. 5 catches for 130 yards and a touchdown. He's got good size, good speed. I think, college coaches, if you're looking for, a guy that can make some plays on the outside, this young man can get it done. So great job, Jeremiah. Tamar Bivens, number 16, 9 carries, 115 yards and a touchdown. Looked really good running the football against Ashbrook. We interviewed him after the game. He's got a ton of support. I mean, I tell you, his interview has just gone through the roof with views. So, it's great to have that kind of support system. He was a great, one of those great players from the Barry JV team that lost only one game last season. So good job, you, Tomar. Now, we also did the Butler Rocky River game on Friday night in the cold and the rain and the wind. And this young man is the guy that you want in that kind of weather. Davion Nelson, number 8, 3 touchdown runs, including one punishing touchdown run that has been a huge highlight. I think it's approaching 5,000 views on Instagram. Just a powerful young man in that Butler victory over Rocky River, 42-0. Bryce Dixon in that game, big D tackle, D1 recruit. He's just recently been offered by the University of Georgia. He had a sack that we highlighted, and multiple tackles for loss. Times he was just unblockable, and he's been that way, for almost his whole career ever since he got to Butler. But I mean, he's on another level this year. Great job by Bryce. Jalen Taylor, number 12 for Butler. He had a touchdown and several big runs, in that Brian Hale's offense. He loves that misdirection, the jet, and the wide sweeps off the jet motion, things like that. He does a great job with that. Great job, Jalen. Now, we had some submissions. Now, you guys can submit, players to be recognized, coaches, players, and fans. So we had a good number of submissions this week. These came from Coach Merritt at A.L. Brown, Amarion Plummer, athlete, 2 total touchdowns. He played well at the cornerback position. Cameron Chroma, quarterback at A.L. Brown, won our MVP at the Under Lights camp. 2 touchdown passes. Torrin Wright, who just received an offer from Michigan, had a forced fumble and several tackles. And then Trent Thompson, DB at A.L. Brown, had an interception. So great job to all those guys. Big 51-19 win over Northwest Cabarrus. Coach Glass from Lincolnton, DeAndre Smith, wide receiver, 4 touchdowns in a comeback victory. Wow, what a game. Down 13-0 to Newton Conover, and they came back and won that game 27-13. I watched, his highlights. He did it in the run game off jet sweep action a couple times, and then he also, of course, caught some. Just a real talented, athletic kid that, he can play basketball on the football field. Those are the kind of kids you like. And get him in space, and he did a great job with that. So great job, DeAndre. Excellent game. All right, so I'm on pause. I'm going to go back to Justin because he's ready to go, and I'm going to let him do his players of the game. So let me get to his slide. Just bear it with me real quick. Compelling TV right now. All right. There we go. All right, let's bring on the player analyst, Justin Adams here. What's up,
Matt, I need you to tell people how you try to lead me off of this episode.
Hey, man.
You tried to lead me off. Nah.
Look,
you didn't send me the link.
You missed the pre-production show, so that's not my fault. But anyway. All right, here we go.
What's going on, gang? How's everybody doing?
Man, we doing all right, man. We're doing all right.
That's good.
It's your show, man. You got two good players right here.
Oh, yeah, we got 2 great, phenomenal guys. You know what I'm saying? We got Brandon Perry out of Porter Ridge, played on Thursday night, 4 touchdowns. That, like I said, he's a DB, and they put him on the offensive side of the ball, and he made things happen. Every time he threw the ball his way, he was in the end zone. That just speaks what type of player he is. He competed at different camps, numerous of camps over the summer and this fall, and he was a player of the camp at all those camps. Like I said, a phenomenal DB. He's committed to Wingate, and he dominated this game. Look forward to seeing him playing against Butler. It's going to be a hell of a game coming up this Friday. The next person I want to talk about was Brevin Caldwell out of RGKL. He's a newly transferred out of Independence, and he had 2 touchdowns over the win in the win over South Meck Friday night in that cold, rainy game. And he's a spark that the RGKL Knights that they definitely need and could really boost them up into the playoffs and could be the sleeper team. That's my sleeper team of the Southwestern 4A. You know what I'm saying? That's a good conference. There's a lot of good teams in that conference. And with the addition of Brevin, that was definitely good for them, and I look forward to seeing them as well moving on to the next season.
All right, good stuff, man. Appreciate it. Good
Man.
job.
Appreciate you. Thank you for plugging me in. Finally.
I got you, man. In due time. In due time. Mrs. Moten supporting Brevin, one of the avid watchers of Football Focus Weekly. I got to get you an MVP badge, Miss Moten.
Yeah, Miss Moten. Yeah,
she me to do that. Yeah,
she's a real one. She's a real one. Appreciate you. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Justin.
And her son had a good game as well, man. He locked up at the corner position.
Yes, and
tell him that I saw that interception that he dropped too. We got to have that. That's a stat that we got to have. So tell him to work on that this week in practice.
That's Justin Adams, folks. He keeps it very real. So there you go. All right. All right, let's get back to some more Pet Man's guys right here. See where we left off. All right, so Coach Strain at Providence wanted to highlight. Oh man, what a player! Connor Drake, offensive lineman, Providence, big guy, only a sophomore. Looks really good, man. 6'6", 300+ pounds. 5 pancake blocks and a 33-0 win over West Meck. Oh my goodness! Hey, we got to get some video of those pancake blocks. I love pancakes and syrup. I'm a big man, and that that gets me excited. So good stuff, Connor. Great job, man. All right, Coach Fitzgerald at Lake Norman nominated Jace Neely. Oh man, athlete. I didn't know where to put him because he did so much. He had a touchdown catch, long snap well in the special teams game, 2 pancakes at tight end, and he played quarterback in the victory over West Charlotte. Good gracious, man. Did you also do COVID temperature checks too? I mean, that's just everything you want, man. That's awesome, man, to help your team in so many ways. Lake Norman going to 1-0 on the season, and they got a big game this week we're going to talk about here in just a few minutes. Great job, Jace. All right, Coach Akers Advance had a few guys he wanted to highlight. Of course, the whole world is talking about Dalen Hollywood Smothers. We knew he's going to be special. Talked to him in the offseason. He had a great season last year as a freshman, scoring in the state title game. And now as a sophomore, he's just exploding. 162 yards and 2 touchdowns in their victory over Mallard Creek. Jalik Harrington, he had an interception. He had several tackles in the, of course, the victory. And then Tyrion Porter, a kid that, we've highlighted before. He played well overall in the secondary. We know Vance has a ton of talent, and a lot of that talent shined on Friday night. So great job for those Vance Cougars. Good job, guys. All right, from the Olympic coaching staff, we got Sean Bowles, the offensive player of the game. Had 188 total yards, 2 touchdowns in their victory over Harding. I hope I say this right. Elite Narn at the D tackle spot for Olympic, 3 tackles for loss, had a sack, a forced fumble recovery, and a touchdown. Good gracious. I played D tackle for 3 years, and I don't know if I had that in my 3 years combined. All I was told is just, keep guys off my linebackers. So, great job making a name for yourself right there. And then Dylon Smoot, I was told that I had not say his name right. I hope I said it right. But we highlighted him in the offseason. Great young man to speak with. Went out, had a great game, 2 sacks and a forced fumble. Co-defensive player of the game, for the Olympic Trojans, going to 1-0 on the season. All right. Over at Argent Kill, Travis Collins, one of our guys we named preseason all-conference. 1 sack, 9 total tackles, and a pass deflection in their victory over South Meck that, our Justin Adams was at. So great job, Travis. Evan Bernard, quarterback at Cuthbertson, he was the MVP of the first Under the Lights camp. 17 and 19 passing. What a great passing percentage. My goodness. Only 2 incompletions. That's great stuff. On top of that, 80 yards of rushing, 2 touchdowns, and a 62-yard punt in victory over Parkwood. He showed me a video of the punt, and it's not like one of them things that just was like a line drive and then rolled 30 yards. It was a legit punt, man. So, this guy's super talented, going to Wingate. Great job starting off his senior season. All right, True Sierra, another one of the guys we highlighted from the Under the Lights camp. I really love this young man's game. He sent me this video. He had the longest touchdown in the state, 76 yards in their game against A.L. Brown. And he did the heavy lifting on that. It was a slant pattern about 7 yards, and he took it the distance, man. This guy is a playmaker. He can go get it. He's speed, and he can move, really well. Northwest Cabarrus had a tough loss, but that was a big play, and True did a great job on that. All right, Andrew Frazier, quarterback at Havelock, sophomore. I couldn't believe he was a sophomore when you look at his film. 294 total yards, 3 touchdowns, completed 71% of his passes in the victory over Northeastern. So, great stuff right there. Havelock is a great traditional program from the eastern part of the state, and it looks like they've got a player that's going to be big for the next couple of years. So great job, Andrew. And then here's a shout out. I didn't get a lot of fan shout outs, but hopefully once you see this, we'll be able to get a few more. Special shout out from Lavondia Holloman. She's a Myers Park fan. Wanted to shout out number 95, Jordan Potroast Tinsley. We talked to him in the offseason. He has a great story. Number 55, Andrew Bookman, plays D tackle. Number 8, Katie Redfern is a running back. Number 11, Adrian Ely, and number 41, Sanquon Ivy for a great game. Myers Park had a big win over Garinger in week 1. And we'll, talk about who they got in week 2 here in just a little bit. All right, so we're going to stop right there. If you've got a player that you want to highlight, make sure that you reach out to us and tell us who that player is, what they did in that game, and why they deserve to be, highlighted. And hey, trust me, I know about Panos. I know. I forgot to put him on the slide, but he had a great game, 10 rushes, 57 yards, also played defense for South Meck last week. Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one right there. All right. Let's see where we are right now. All right. Let's go to the rapid review. Oh, I'm sorry. One thing. Joe Hughes texted in some names he wanted to recognize. The Hunter Huss defense, negative 23 yards allowed against North Gaston. How do you allow negative yards? Can you do that? Because it's like negative, so I don't know if you can allow it, but I mean that's incredible. So Coach, he's doing a great job right there. Name just escaped me. Good gracious, had him on the show. But Hunter Huss, that's a great win over North Gaston in week 1. Timothy Ruff at Crest, 216 yards on 21 carries, 3 touchdowns in their 38-13 win over Forest View. I saw some of those highlights from Ruff. My goodness, what a player. That's incredible right there. Trayvon Crank. So Trayvon Crank was number 7 for Ashbrook. He rushed for 134 yards on 19 carries in their loss to Berry. He was impressive too. He ran really hard. He's going to be a nice pair with Carmelo Best in that Ashbrook backfield over there. And then Noah Calder from Hunter Huss. He had 5 catches for 110 yards, including 3 touchdowns in the Huskies win over North Gaston. So, great job out of all you guys in Gaston County. Joe is the hardest working man. I know that writes for sports. He's out on assignment covering something tonight, I'm sure. And that's why he's not here right now. All right, let's bring everybody back real quick because before we go to the rapid review, we got a little bit of time, and I wanted to discuss something real quick with everybody. Justin, is that a smoothie? Really?
You know it. You already know what's up.
Where's my Powerade smoothie?
Sheree supposed to be testing that out for us. He never got back with us with the review. What happened to that, Sheree?
I'm still working. Man, listen, I'm busy. Okay, I can't just stop and make a Powerade smoothie, but it's coming. Don't you worry. I'm gonna make it.
Well, guys, I want to welcome Otis Powell to the show.
What's up, Otis?
What's up, everybody? How everybody doing?
What's up,
guys?
Pretty good.
He's gonna be
rushing to get on the show from football practice. Y'all coaches know how it is when you're trying to make something and waiting for that last kid to leave.
Oh man, exactly. So here's what I want to talk about for about 5 minutes. And I know some of you have seen the story. If you've not seen it, the state of Kentucky is apparently allowing seniors another year if they want to come back and play sports. Now, I know there's some legislation issues going on. I don't know if it's finalized just yet, but I want to get you guys' opinion on this. What is Kentucky doing?
Was the season cut short?
No, they're giving them another year of athletic eligibility.
No, I got you. But so did they have a season?
I think so. Kentucky had a season, I believe.
I think so.
Was it a full season? Because that makes a difference too.
I don't think it does.
You don't think it does?
All right, Kenny, go ahead.
Kenny. Yeah, go, Kenny.
I'm just going to keep it real with you. At some point, we got to draw the line. Like when you give the class of 21 another year of eligibility, it not only affects the class of 22, 23, 24, 25 as well. The current 8th graders are going to be impacted because you're going to have seniors coming back who is going to stop current 22 seniors from being able to play. Who's going to stop current 24? I'm going to get confused all the way down. Like there's a effect that happens, a snowball effect. I mean, even beyond that, I mean, they just voted 36-0 in the Kentucky State Senate, but they didn't give any kind of regulations as to what that looked like. Are they going to have to take classes in a high school? Well, what if they've already graduated? How can you come back and take classes? Is it just going to be a whole bunch of weight training classes, PE classes, office assistant? Or are they going to be taking classes at the community college during the daytime and showing up on a high school campus to play football? Like, there's just too many questions. Like, I get it. It sucks, man. It sucked for the kids last year, the baseball players, the spring sports. But at some point, you just got to draw the line and say, this is where we are. Sorry, guys. Good luck in JUCO ball. Good luck elsewhere. But we can't continue to negatively affect, just like we talked about on this show, high school 2021 kids are being negatively affected because the NCAA is allowing college kids another year of eligibility across the board, whether they played or not.
Absolutely.
I don't think it's something that'll really come to fruition. I mean, so I understand what they're saying, but I mean, you're gonna really have, like you say, kids just come back just to play football, almost like some sort of, grad assistant or something like that, or a kid that's going to grad school that's playing. That it's just a little weird. And then you're gonna have this 13-year-old ninth grader doing Oklahoma drills against a 19-year-old.
He's gonna be at a frat party on Thursday night and at the varsity football game on Friday night starting at quarterback.
I don't see it working. I mean, no, it's just like you said, it's gonna affect players from years to come if you even try to do that. You're gonna stunt the growth of everyone behind them. Because some coaches out there, they're just gonna win. If they have to plug a guy in, if he's there, they're gonna plug him in. Doesn't matter who's behind them. So no.
The recruiting going on for college kids to play high school football. You start having your own apartment. Oh, you're gonna have 10 college kids living in one apartment to play football.
My question is, like we talked about this before, when we hypothetically talking about it, how many of these seniors really want to come back, for a 5th year of high school? I mean, like we talked about, many months ago, by the time it was my senior year, I was ready to go. I mean, I didn't want to hang around. I mean, I love Harding, but I didn't want to hang around there for another year.
There's a harsh reality that a lot of coaches, a lot of kids, don't always want to bring up. And that's the reality that the majority of high school football players are not college football players. That's the end of the line for most kids.
Yep.
So that guy that couldn't even start on his high school team, what's he coming back for? I mean, think about it. He needs to go on to college and get the rest of his life started. So to me, you're going to have kids that probably don't have a future in football. I mean, it's just the truth. I mean, football is so much more than that, and they need to just move on and start working on a degree or something. You're going to have a lot of kids, and if this were to happen, coming back that don't benefit from it.
Yeah, Otis, you got something to say on this?
My mama wasn't having it. She was ready for me to go. So I think Kentucky would be doing they would be doing a disservice to those seniors to let them come back in a high school setting, whether it's they treat it like prep school kids. Maybe they take go down to community college and take an English 101 or Math 1 class at the community college, or retake some high school classes to get a better GPA. But I mean, you had your 4 years, you had your 8 semesters of high school, get that diploma, go on to a college campus, and enjoy life. Like the other coach said, some of these kids really are not going to go on to college and play football again. Like, high school is what it is. Enjoy the 4 years you're there, make the best of it, It's a pandemic. I mean, it is what it is. We missed it, and you move on from it.
Amen. Cherie, what you got?
I mean, I'm just kind of with everyone else on this one. You know, like you said, either way you look at it, somebody's going to suffer. You know, and I hate to see it for like the younger kids who are coming up. You know, like he was saying, you know, the 2024 kids, and not being able to play or being able to, get their time in, their reps in because they're worried about, somebody else who's coming in who decided to stay for that extra year of eligibility. If you ain't got it, you ain't got it, and one extra year ain't gonna do it for you. So,
All right, Justin, you got last word, man. What's your opinion?
Yeah, this is an unfortunate situation that some of these kids are in. Especially you got some that are on the cusp of getting that offer, and they actually play, and they actually could benefit with coming back. But like you said, like you guys said, it's just gonna hurt the rest of the classes coming in. So if you feel that way, if you're an athlete that feels that way, I recommend going to a JUCO or a prep school. You could take a couple of community courses and just move forward with your life,
All right, good deal. Great job, guys. Glad we tackled that very efficiently and well. Excellent. All right. So to conclude, Kentucky, we think you're crazy, and y'all need to reconsider what you're doing. All right.
Stick with the bourbon.
Stick with the bourbon. Good gracious. All right. So now I'll put everybody backstage once again because now we get ready to take a look at what happened in week 1, and we are calling this the rapid review. And in the rapid review, we can take a look at our county views and we talk about, what we saw in week 1. So let's get the graphic back on the screen once again. If I can do it the right way. All right. Here we go. All right. Kenny McClamrock, we're going to bring him on. We're going to talk about what we saw in Cabarrus County, All right, Kenny. What stands out to you in the rapid review for Cabarrus?
Well, I think the games went exactly the way that I thought that they would go. The big surprise was the Hickory Ridge independent score. I think that everybody was expecting Hickory Ridge to run away with this. I talked to some people who were at the game. They said there were a lot of turnovers by both teams, early season jitters, that kind of stuff that really prevented it. But I think that it speaks towards what Coach Natoli is doing at Independence, that he's lost all these guys, he graduated players, and they still were able to hold what I believe is one of the top 4A teams in the state to just 7 points. J.M. Robinson and West Cabarrus. West Cabarrus is a very big team. They're going to be very good for many years to come. They just don't have any seniors right now. Robinson was playing without literally their entire offensive line was in quarantine, and the entire defensive line stepped up. Linebackers, there was a linebacker wearing number 50 and a linebacker wearing number 78. It was phenomenal. I've never seen it before. But D-Rob, my dog, my brother, picked up his first win. Cox Mill, they're struggling right now, man. Coach Baker's a heck of a coach, and I'm sure he's going to do great things there. But let's be real, they're playing without their top quarterback. And from what I heard, they also are playing with a freshman at running back. So I think they started a freshman quarterback and running back. I can't confirm that, but that's what I've been told. Central Cabarrus, a little bit surprising by the overtime win. Central Cabarrus had some opportunities to put the game away early. They kind of let Concord hang on, and Concord took advantage of some mishaps and made it close and an exciting overtime win. So Concord's got to be feeling good about their season after some of their recent struggles. And then, of course, A.L. Brown, man. I told you guys, A.L. Brown is the truth. A.L. Brown should compete for the state championship this year. They've got the talent. They've got the size. They've got the athleticism. I don't think anybody's surprised by the score of that game.
Absolutely, man. Thank you, Kenny. That's a great breakdown of what happened in week 1. And we're going to talk about what's going to happen in week 2 in just a few minutes. Thank you, bud. All right, let's move on. Gaston County. Now, we don't have our buddy Joe Hughes, but I'm gonna bring on Otis. You think you can talk about this? All right, let's bring him on. All right, so what strikes your eye right here, Otis?
I figured that, Hunter Huss will do what they needed to do against North Gaston. But the great thing about that was, and the underlining was that you had 2 high school teammates, 2 college teammates coaching against each other in a rivalry game that they understand the city. They understand the demographic. They understand the kids. So to see them two guys, two of my closest friends, two guys that I call brothers. I was in both of their cars to and from to get home to Charlotte from Western. So I know that they enjoyed each other after the game, but they look forward to the game, the competition. So I mean, you kind of know that was going to be right there. Burns and South Point, not too surprising that with the kind of weather they played in, the turnovers that happened, but a close game like that, you can see that being what it is.
Oh yeah.
Crest dominating Forest View. That's typical. That should happen. Kings Mountain over Cramerton. Kings Mountain is loaded. They just look like they just reloaded and they're ready for the run. East Lincoln and Mountain Island. I'm kind of very surprised about this. I know they played on Saturday, and they avoided playing on Friday night. They got out of that bad weather and played on Saturday. But I'm surprised at this score. I thought that Mountain Island should have taken care of business against East Lincoln. That's just my personal opinion.
So let me share something on that game. So I talked to our buddy Coach Washington over at Mountain Island. He was missing a lot of starters because the basketball team at the time was still in the playoffs. So I think he said he was missing like 6 starters. He didn't use it as an excuse, but he was just trying to give some context into the situation that was going on right there.
Yeah, but I look at Mountain Island Charter as, when you look at them as a predominantly powerhouse in 1A football, to go and do what they did, even missing key players, other guys got to step up, and you can see that they stepped up. They may not be who starters were, but that's a key for them to step up, get some game film, and put their name out there in the limelight of a starter. Now the Phillip Berry Ashbrook game, I just thought it would be a toss-up, but to see Berry come out and play the way that they did and put up the points that they did, I'm surprised about that. So
they were impressive. I was there Thursday night. I'm gonna tell you, they were impressive, especially second half. Their defense shut Ashbrook out second half. Their running game, and what have we said that about Berry? Ever.
Never.
Their running game was, that's put the game away.
Yeah,
we've never said that.
Even me and you coaching against them, I'm being there when my son was there. I didn't see that, but to see what they put out there and to see the confidence those kids play with and kind of swag they play with in that game, somebody in their conference need to be a little bit worried.
Well, we're gonna talk about. They got an important matchup this week coming up in week 2. But thank you for pinch hitting for Joe Hughes, man. That was a great job.
No problem.
All right. Let's jump to Mecklenburg County. Brandon, I'm gonna bring him on. Let's bring Brandon, Cherie, and Justin. Let's bring all y'all on. Let's make this a Mecklenburg County party. All right. So down the line, Brandon, which game stuck out to you on this one right here?
Well, I'm gonna say Vance Mallard Creek. The huge heavyweight matchup, and I'm going to say that the Vance had a worthy opponent, but they put their championship belt on the line, and I think they got it done. So I'm gonna go with that one. That it was kind of like it was interesting. It's kind of like starting the season off with a championship fight almost type of thing. So
absolutely,
and Vance got it done. Not only got it done, but got it done in a convincing manner. I knew Vance could win that one, but I thought it'd be a little closer than it was. I thought it'd be maybe a 7 or less point type of game, but 20 points, that definitely popped out to me.
All right, Cherie, what game right here stood out to you?
Well, I was looking down the line, and it seems like most of these games were pretty one-sided.
We got another screen. Don't worry.
Of course, I was at the Vance Mallard Creek game, so I'm gonna go with that one. Sorry, I was still looking at the list. I think the biggest thing for me in that game is that at the beginning it seemed like it was going to be defensive. Both defenses played well at the very start, and then it was just like Vance just somehow was able to turn it on. And Mallard Creek, I don't know whether it was the weather conditions or whatever, but nothing clicked right with them. And Vance was able to take advantage of that and just had a party and it was definitely apparent. So yeah.
Absolutely. Justin, what game stood out to you on this list?
Definitely the Huff and Hopewell. Definitely the Hopewell game. 7-0. I was looking at the scores. I was getting the scores as I was covering the game. I was like, is this right? 7? Is it another number supposed to be in there? You know what I mean? So I didn't really know what was going on. So I was just trying to figure out what was going on. I wasn't at the game, but yeah, definitely. I expected Huff to put up more points, and I'm guessing Hopewell has a pretty slept on defense. I know they got Fred Bates over there at DB, and he's a pretty good player. And that's just one of those teams that you don't want to sleep on. They probably came in overconfident, thinking they could just is a cakewalk, and those are the type of teams that either will hold the game close or it can beat you. So I'm guessing that's what happened with this game. And yeah, man, it was a shocker. So we're gonna see. We'll hope how Huff bounces back from this, and then also Hopewell. You know, that might have gave them confidence, seeing that they could compete with a team like this. So definitely we'll see.
All right. Now let's jump to the next one. We only got 3 right here. So, Justin, I'll let you talk about Ardrey South Met because I know you were there.
Man, that game was cold and rainy. I was ready to get the hell out of there. Hey, but that was Ardrey, man. They had some good players though. Ardrey has a good players. You know, like I mentioned earlier, Brev is the spark that I think AK needs, and he's definitely going to be good for them going further in the season. South Mech, they had a couple pop plays here and there. You know, I can tell that, like I said, with the pandemic and the way that they were training throughout the year, throughout the leading up to the season, that it could have an effect on them. I know they're a young team as well. So, like I said, they competed. They didn't give up. It wasn't a team that just laid down the fourth quarter. They were still competing. They had a couple late scores in the second half. So that's all you can ask for right there. Somebody to keep competing, even though that, especially with the weather conditions that we were in, they could have easily just laid down. But yeah, like Mary just said, cold was only a small part of the pain. Yeah, it was cold, rainy, windy. I had the 2 jackets on.
That gets some meat on your bones, man. Come on now.
No, I don't even talk about it.
So for me, I'll talk about Providence West Mech was a bit of a surprise for me, 33-0. You know, I know West Mech has some athletes over there. The conditions I'm sure did not play in their favor because I know they like to kind of spread it out a little bit and get some guys in space. But I mean, Providence, man, they're coming strong. You know, powerful run game. We talked about Connor Drake with the 5 pancake blocks. I think that was a bit of a statement. And then Olympic over Harding 49-0. We know Harding is young, but Olympic putting up 49 in week 1. It kind of speaks to the strength of that team. Good senior leadership on that team, and a lot of talent. So it'll be interesting to see how they carry that on moving forward. So thank you guys for that feedback. We'll be back with you in just a minute. All right, let's move to the next. Now we in the blitz. Oh well, Mecklenburg County. Let's start it. We'll bring them right back. All right. So on the blitz, Mallard Creek, Lake Norman, big game. Mallard Creek 0-1, Lake Norman 1-0. I think this is a really, really big game here because Mallard Creek coming off a loss to Vance. Now it's a point where Lake Norman is not a team that you can relax on it at all. We saw their strength last week in their victory over West Charlotte. They've got the senior offensive lineman. They love to run the football, control the clock. I think this is going to be a really interesting matchup. Guys, what are your thoughts?
Well, I just know, for Mallard Creek, they have a lot to prove. So I'm wanting to see, how they snap back from this loss that they had, against Vance. And like I said, there was a lot to, take away from that. There was a lot that, impacted that game. So I just want to see how they come out against this team.
Yeah, how they come out, I think, and how they start, is going to be really important here. Because the Lake Norman smells some momentum. And that's a senior-led team, upperclassmen, well coached. It'll be that's a game to watch this week. Another game to watch right here, big rivalry game. Mooresville did not play in week 1. They're going to go to Huff. This is, these two schools apparently don't like each other. any thoughts on this one, guys?
I think Huff's gonna. I think it's also a statement game for Huff as well. I mean, although they won, it's like one of those games where you win, but you're still not completely pleased by how you played. Right. And obviously, with the talent they have, no one thought they'd go into week 1 and score 7 points. So it's an interesting scenario where you have a team that's 1-0 still looking to make a statement and prove that they belong where we put them.
Absolutely. New offensive coordinator up there, Coach Olsen. I know he's going to be eager to, prove, that, their offense is a little better than 7 points. But hey, Huff defense with a shutout too. Coach Chachi, doing another good job over there. Then this is the debut for Coach Nixon up at Mooresville. He was on the show, a few weeks back. They got a lot of talent, a lot of senior leadership there, a lot of good players. That's going to be a really, really good game right there. On Saturday, this game is at Huff on Saturday, 7 p.m. The JV's playing at 4 p.m. We got Vance going on to take on Hopewell. Hopewell will be the home team here. What are your thoughts on this one, guys?
We're going to see if Hopewell's defense is really legit.
Right.
So we saw that they held them to 7 points. This is, like I said, I hope they got the confidence, and I hope that they make it to the game.
Well, and then, on the opposite side of that, I want to see, if Hopewell was able to find some offense, because I'm not sure if it was, what it was, but, it seems like they weren't able to get much done. So I just want to see, how that team has, gone on to week 2 and if they can step it up just a notch.
Right. Well, Huff has a good defense as well. So, like I said, we just want to see where the teams really lie at. So this is definitely going to be a good matchup.
So I will tell you, I will be at this game. I'll definitely be at the varsity game. I'm trying to make, some of the JV game. Just depends on, when I can, get there. Huff is not exactly close for me. But, I will be there. And I'll tell you, and I usually don't do this, but Next Gen Highlights, they typically do South Carolina, but they do some amazing highlight work. They're going to be at this game. And, I want to, talk to this guy in person. I've talked to him online, but, I want to talk to him and meet him. Yeah. So be some cool highlights from them coming up. And, of course, we'll have, our instant highlights as well. So West Charlotte going on the road to take on North Meck. West Charlotte losing last week to Lake Norman. This is North Meck's first game as well. So be interesting to see what North Meck has in store. West Charlotte, Coach Garinger and our buddy, Mr. Shea Butter Billups, we're looking to bounce back from the 0-1 start. So that's a traditional rival matchup too here in Charlotte.
It is.
Yeah, absolutely. Archie Kill. Oh, go ahead, Justin.
So it'll be interesting to see, because like you said, this is North Meck's first game of the season. Either they're gonna shake off the rust, or they're gonna come in through fresh legs and run through. So we're gonna see. That's definitely an interesting matchup to see. I know West Charlotte has a lot of young guys that stepped up for them. So like I said, we'll see.
Yep.
Archie Kill. Let's get Billups on the show next time.
I'm sure he's busy coaching right now. That's okay. That's okay. RG Kell going on the road to take on Harding. RG Kell coming off the win over South Meck, and then Harding coming off the tough loss to Olympic. Right now that looks like a tough game for my Rams, but I know they are going to be better from week 1 to week 2 with Coach Smith and Coach LJ leading those guys. And RG Kell, I know they're fired up. Now they got off to a good start last week, right, Justin? They were up 23-0. And then they kind of, tailed off a little bit. So I know they want to play a full 4 quarters this week.
Not to discredit South Meck. Like I said, South Meck did finish the game. So
right.
They actually did come to play. It was just, like I said, the weather conditions, and RGK just had, I would say, more talent.
All right, and then speaking of South Meck, they are hosting Olympic this week. This is the game me and Brandon plan on attending on Friday night. This is a traditional old school Charlotte rivalry as well. For Olympic, 49-0 over Harding. And then you see a South Meck team that's 0-1, and you may think, it's an easier game, but I'm telling you, the way South Meck finished that game against RGK, to your point, Justin, was impressive. And, I know Coach Evans is not going to allow another 23-0 skunk in the first quarter. So, I expect this to be a good game. I really do. All right, let's move on to the next one right here. So out of these games right here, and that Providence at Berry, I am excited about this game. These are two programs that have been kind of down the past, year or two, but they're both 1-0 coming off impressive victories. Kind of a contrast to styles. Providence looks like they want to kind of be more smash mouth, and Berry, of course, we know them as spread, but they can run the ball now. This is a great kind of, mixing styles matchup, and this game is going to go a long way in determining who's going to challenge for the top half of the SOMEX 7 and possibly a playoff spot. You guys got any thoughts on that one?
Yeah, shout out to Providence, man. Whoever designed the jerseys, they got the coldest jerseys in CMS.
The Jump Man,
Jordan
man.
logo, yeah, the Jump Man, yeah, they cold. So if you talking about style points, I'll give it to them. But yeah, this is gonna be a good game to see though against Berry. Like you said, Berry had a great game. Last game, it was very surprising seeing their offensive production with their running back. So I think it's gonna be a game this year. It's not gonna be a blowout like most people would think in the past. So ready to see that.
Yeah, this is a game I'm going to watch closely on Friday.
Yeah.
Now, Butler at Porter Ridge, another big game. And the Queen, is planning to go to this game down in Union County. Both teams 1-0 coming off big victories. Butler over Rocky River, Porter Ridge over East Meck. What's your thoughts on this one, guys?
I think for me, the biggest thing I'll be watching is just, I guess, with Porter Ridge having such a big victory last week, what this Butler team is gonna do and how they're gonna come out. I know you were talking about a guy that was in the game last week, had a few touchdown runs. So I want to see if he's gonna be able to bring that same energy this week, and if it's gonna be a close game or if it's gonna be another big one for Porter Ridge.
Yeah, now that both of these teams had guys that ran multiple touchdowns. Davion Nelson for Butler and then Brandon Perry, guy you interviewed, Justin, after the game for Porter Ridge. So it'll be exciting to see, which running game, is going to prevail. And then, especially for the Butler side of things, I expect them to open it up a little bit with better conditions and quarterback Parrish Metzger in the fold also. All right, so we got East Meck going on to take on Independence, a traditional East Charlotte matchup here. We got any thoughts on that one?
Go Big Al.
Justin, that's your alma mater, man. Come on now.
I will say it was good to see Forsey back on the sidelines, man. As we all know, he's been battling the cancer. He said he felt great, so it was good to chop it up with him and show support at his game.
Absolutely.
Like I said, he hasn't been part of the defense or the team for the past couple of months, but as the team moves on, I think he's going to start implementing more coaching staff. So you might see a change with East Meck as the latter half of the season prevails. So we'll see.
All right, good deal. All right, we got Hickory Ridge going on the road to take on Garinger. We're going to talk about the Garinger situation here later on in the show. Do we got any thoughts on that one?
On the game or the coaching situation?
On the game. We got the coaching situation later on.
Oh, okay.
I just want to see Garinger score something. Like I just, at this, I'm speaking from my perspective. I really feel bad for Garinger, and I really want to, I don't know, see something.
Hey, now, Queen, you were the one that covered their victory last year.
Oh yeah, I did,
Yeah.
and it felt great, for me, and I think for that, neighborhood, and there's just a lot, hanging in the balance when it comes to Garinger. They carry a lot of people on their back, not just the team itself, but that community and everything. And I just I'd like to see some positive come out of something for them.
Absolutely. All right, so we got Rocky River going on the road to take on Myers Park. Now, Brandon, we saw Rocky River last week. What can you say about those guys?
Man, I mean, I will say this, although, on paper, Rocky River is not as bad of a team as the score or what people might think just looking at the score. I'm sure those guys there and the coaches would agree that a lot of the turmoil they experienced against Butler was self-inflicted. They got to clean some things up, and they're a lot better team than what that score indicates. I'm gonna give them that. But man, the schedule right now is not getting any easier on them. You got Butler, and then you go straight to Myers Park. So, you know, there are no weeks off. That's for sure. But they just got to tune up some things, and they're gonna be a lot better than what that score might have indicated. So I'm looking to see, you know, how they bounce back from that game.
Absolutely. And then the Myers Park team coming off the big win over Garinger. Several new players, notably the quarterback from California that stepped in and played really well. You know, we think, at least I believe, Myers Park is going to face, you know, a tougher challenge from a Rocky River team that'll be motivated, you know, to show, as you say, Brandon, that they are a little better than, you know, what they showed last week. Now, big game here. My goodness. Charlotte Catholic, they defeated Monroe last week. 27-0. They are hosting Weddington, defending state champions. This game is the game of the week that's being streamed by the spring season. Those guys are doing a great job over there. You know, what a matchup. Last year, Weddington completely blew out Charlotte Catholic, and you never see that at Weddington. So I know Charlotte Catholic is super motivated this year to prove that, you know, they are much better, a much better team that will play much better in this game. Justin Adams down at the bottom there plans on attending this game. Justin, what are you excited to see in this matchup?
I'm excited to see the defensive backs from Weddington. I know they're coach. They have a great DB coach with Rodney with Grind Hard Sports. He was DB. Tap in with him. He's a great, phenomenal DB coach out here. And then you have Charlotte Catholic with their rich winning tradition. And, you know, like you said, man, they took that big L last year and they ready to bounce back. So, hey, it's going to be a hell of a game. Absolutely,
man. And then to finish it up for Mecklenburg County, West Meck going on the road to North Lincoln. Now this game was kind of put together last minute because we had some cancellations and things like that going on. You know, the big thing for me for West Meck, they want to get that offense going. You know, conditions will be better Friday night. North Lincoln, you know, is not the, you know, same type of matchup that they had last week against Providence. So it's going to be interesting to see, you know, if West Meck can get that offense going, get those guys in space, and see if Zaire Kinney can connect with those guys from the quarterback position. You know, obviously for North Lincoln, they got to find a way to handle that West Meck speed, you know, find a way to get some pressure on the quarterback, and, you know, see if they can control the ball on offense with the run game. You know, I think it's the best way, and Providence showed that last week, you know, against them. So, all right, great job, guys. Thank you for, you know, all of that great analysis on the blitz, Mecklenburg County style. All right. Now let's move on. Gaston County, we're going to bring back Otis Powell. All right, what's your thoughts on these? Ashbrook at Forest View. I think that's probably the most balanced game out of this list right here.
Well, both of them losing last week. I want to give this one to Ashbrook. I think they got the upper hand this week. Chris will stay steady and win again against Stuart Kramer.
Okay.
Kings Mountain and North Gaston.
Oh, I meant to take that one off. I know that game got canceled. So let's not do that one because that just came out today. Kings Mountain is looking for another opponent. So North Gaston is off this week. Kings Mountain looking for another opponent there. That's my bad. Should have took that off. But last matchup on there, Christ the King and Mountain Island Charter.
Christ the King and Mountain Island Charter. Mountain Island Charter should bounce back. They should have all their weapons back.
Yeah.
And they should get the ball rolling. I've seen Mountain Island through the summer in some 7-on-7 tournaments, and I know some of those kids over there at Mountain Island Charter. You know, Christ the King has gotten better than what they were last year. So
yes,
Mountain Island Charter is the most dominant team in our 1A conference. So I'm gonna just go ahead and get that one to Mountain Island Charter to win, and it should be a sound win, and they should get the offense going and the defense going and special teams. So if they can get all three spaces of the ball game clicking for Mountain Island Charter, they'll get back on the winning side of things.
All right, good deal, man. Thank you, Otis. And shout out to Christ the King. They defeated Union Academy last week. That's a good win. That's a good win for Christ the King. Awesome stuff. All right. Last but certainly not least, Kenny McClam Rock. We got some big matchups in Cabarrus County this week. All right, A.L. Brown at Central Cabarrus. Now, you are going to be at this game, right?
Absolutely. Man, Central Cabarrus, 25 straight times Central Cabarrus got defeated by A.L. Brown a couple years ago. Walk-off overhead fashion, train left, 19 stretch, DeAndre Boykins for the win. In overtime, throws the helmet off, 5,000 people, goes crazy. Last year, Central goes to Kannapolis, is 28-0 at halftime, and the truth is it wasn't even that close. They took the foot off the gas a little bit and ended up being a one-touchdown game in the second half. This is a huge game. Kannapolis has been the team for a long time, and people at Central Cabarrus, they think that there's a better color green out there. And if I'm being honest with you, I agree with the other people because I think that upset of the week, Central Cabarrus over A.L. Brown. And I think that A.L. Brown's going to challenge for the state championship. I just got faith in my boys. I got faith in Coach Bev. Cox Mill at West Cabarrus. I just mentioned it earlier. Cox Mill, young quarterback. Cox Mill, young running back. West Cabarrus, young everywhere, but after seeing their size, I like the way they play. Shout out to Coach Marsh, their offensive line coach. His wife just gave birth to a daughter just a few days ago, so I'm not sure if he'll be there or not, but I've got another surprise pick. I've got West Cabarrus picking up their first win in program history this week at home versus Cox Mill. J.M. Robinson at Northwest Cabarrus. Northwest Cabarrus, from what I've heard, is really big. Northwest Cabarrus, from what I've heard, they have some really stud wide receivers on the edge. That being said, I'm going to holler at my boy D-Rob, man. He stays 2-0. D-Rob doubles J.M. Robinson's win total from last year. I can't wait to see what they do. Talk to him, man, Pep. I was at J.M. Robinson Thursday night until 3:30 in the stinking morning talking to my dude, D-Rob, man. It had been too long. It was like a brother. I couldn't get out of there. We just kept talking and talking and talking. Man, it's 12:30. Man, it's 1:15. Man, it's 2:45. Luckily, because I hadn't eaten since lunchtime, what's that place where all the high people go? Jack in the Box. Jack in the Box was still open. Going into Jack in the Box, man. I can't lie. I was driving a car that probably shouldn't be driven at 3:30 in the morning because it may be registered to the county, and I was a little bit worried about it. And then Central Academy at Concord, man. Concord people's got to be feeling pretty good. They almost had a shot last week, and let's just be honest, Central Academy, no hate, but you guys were a JV football team last year. So I'm going to go with Concord High School picks up their first win of the season.
Oh, Kenny bringing the smoke tonight. Oh, my goodness.
I was undefeated last week, Pep. I feel good about my chances this week.
Oh, man. Well, I think some of this stuff's going to be on some social media somewhere or in some locker room.
They'll hang it up there. And you know what? I've got some good pictures and videos that I can hang up there, too. People.
All right. Thank you, Kenny. Good gracious. Whoo. Hot on the blitz. Hot on the blitz, man. All right. Predictions. First time on CFI officially. Outside of Kenny. All right. We got the queen and we got the producer. All right. So first off, ladies first, Weddington at Charlotte Catholic. Queen, what's your pick?
You know, I'm going to have to go with Weddington on this one. I don't know much about either of these teams, so I'm really just kind of going off the cuff. Okay. But just considering their history and what I know about them formally, I'm going to go with Weddington.
All right. Producer, what you got?
On that game, monster matchup, probably one of the best matchups of the season. Both got a lot of wins recently, recent championships for both. But I'm going to go just because of their depth and, recent track history. I'm going to go Weddington also.
Woo! Wow, a double Weddington at Catholic in a revenge game? I'm sorry, guys. I got to go Charlotte Catholic. I'm sorry. All right, so Providence at Berry. We'll start with the producer. What you got on that one?
Two up-and-coming teams. Both came out with wins. and in week one, I think because they feel like they have something to prove, and the confidence they're displaying, even in the interviews, you can see it. And might have a little bit of advantage with the speed of the skill positions. I'm gonna go Barry on this one.
All right, Barry. Hey, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show, the illustrious Shea Butter Billups. Only an hour and a half late.
Football season, baby.
I know. I'm just messing with you.
The Lions, baby.
All right, Queen, what you got? Providence, Barry.
I'm going Barry.
All right. Now, Coach, you asked me to bring you on, so what you got here?
I know my dogs because them my dogs over there. Them my kids over there at Providence. I respect Barry. I ain't count my Panthers out. Providence is gonna win big. Because they feel disrespected. I love Barry energy this year. I love Barry. Hey, Barry got a point to prove, but I know my dogs over there at Providence. I got Luke. I can start naming so many kids over there. And Mason Bryant, all of them kids. And y'all forget the Hammer is back. The Hammer of Somek is back. Y'all dog West Met retired John Ballas. John Ballas is back. And don't y'all sleep on my boy Ballas in them Providence Panthers. Mason Atkins is a madman. Y'all got him playing tight end now. And then the wizard of Providence, Jamar Price. Providence is gonna win big. Y'all put it on the bulletin board. Go ahead, Barry. I know. I love the energy.
Oh, it'll be out there.
I'm at a point now. I'm from the west side, I'm from the Ford. We don't back down. We don't back down. You say something, hey, you own it. That's how I am. I even saw. You know what? Shout out to Brad Van Horn. I saw your little post. It was cute. Yeah, y'all down. I love that y'all only lost 76. But hey, I'm watching y'all. Y'all got one of my dogs over there. Y'all got Gisson down over there. So hey, when you got one of Coach Bill's gyms over there, Coach Bill's don't keep an eye. On.
All right, good deal, man. Providence Barry. This is a tough one for me. But I'll tell you this, man. I love the Barry kids. Like you said, I love their energy. They're really, really great with the interviews and everything. But at the end of the day, when you got a big offensive line like Providence, with Connor Drake and Jalen Brooks on that
and
left
Mark
side.
Tomalovich. Yep. Mark Tomalovich, don't sleep on. Hey, Connor Drake and Jalen get a lot of props, but Mark and my dog at center, Nate Taylor, he might be a little undersized, but that boy is a dog. He don't back down.
Right, exactly. And now, here's the thing about it, man. That the powerful run game, Barry is explosive on offense, but a powerful run game can help slow that down. I like Providence, but I don't believe it's going to be a blowout. I think Barry is much improved. I think it's going to be a really good game, but I do like Providence to win.
I'm on that bus. Let's go.
All right, Coach Ward will love that. Now, Ashbrook at Forest View. Let's go. Bill, you got a pick on that one?
Darius James is my guy. Coach James is my guy.
Yeah.
They got a feisty corner over there. They're going for something. Shout out, y'all, man. Respect to Ashbrook. I know y'all got some things going on. They had a death in the death on that team where one of the players' parents. And I think they don't come out there. They don't play for their brothers. That's what happens sometimes. You got to go out there and play for your brothers. So I think Ashbrook's going to come back and they'll show you some things this week.
All right. Queen, what you got?
My lack of knowledge for both of these teams, I'm just going to pick one. I'm going to go with Ashbrook.
Ashbrook. All right.
I'm throwing it out there.
Producer, what you got?
I think looking at, if you're using last week as a measuring stick, Ashbrook is going to come out and, they're going to be motivated because they moved the ball pretty well against Barry, but just didn't punch it in. The offense was productive. Running back put up a lot of yards. So I think this is where they finished some drives a little bit more than they did against Barry. And I'm going to go Green Wave on this. I'm going Ashbrook.
There we go.
Coach Medlin's been at Forest View a long time. I remember reading a bit from Joe Hughes saying at halftime of the Chris game, he could hear Coach Medlin taking the paint off the walls at halftime with their game against Crest. That being said, I love Coach James. I love Ashbrook. They got a good size offensive line. They got 2 really good running backs. But I'm going to pick Forest View in a close game only because of how disappointed I know they were and how they played in week 1. But the family aspect of tragedy, felt that before. Most of us as coaches have felt, that in some form or fashion. You cannot sleep on that, being a big, effect on that team. Finally, J.M. Robinson, Northwest Cabarrus. Producer, what you got on that one?
Did a little research, but I'm gonna go J.M. Robinson on this one.
All right, sticking with Kid. He's excited in the background. Shea Butter, what you got?
Northwest got my guy, Coach Mormon over there, but I'm going J.M. Robinson because D-Rob, just like Kenny said, D-Rob is my guy. That's like my little big brother. And D-Rob got them during J.M. Robinson. He got them moving, and they playing with his energy, and that's dangerous. That J.M. Robinson one of the most dangerous teams in Cabarrus County because now they taking on that perception of their head coach. Woo. And we all know D-Rob. D-Rob will go out there and run through a wall before the game starts. So I'm going J.M. Robinson because D-Rob, hey, if you never been by D-Rob, hey, he'll punch a hole in the wall and he'll give you the shirt off his back. But when it's game time, he ain't no more friends. All he sees is blood. That's all he sees. I love it. He get me hyped. And a lot of people don't get me hyped because you gotta be a warrior to make Coach Bills move. But hey.
All right, Queen, what you got in that? J.M. Robinson, Northwest Cabarrus.
I actually picked J.M. Robinson in this one as well. And it's funny because it's like as I was trying to decide which of these 2 teams to pick, I was like, I don't know. J.M. Robinson just sounds like a confident team. So, and then I got confirmation, from the other guys. So I'm sticking with that one. I'm going J.M. Robinson.
Oh, do I make it a clean sweep here? Oh, let me think. No, we can't do that on CFI Football Focus Weekly. No, what is that? Come on.
Sometimes we all agree.
Northwest Cabarrus,
No,
Coach Mormon and Coach Fly. Great dudes, man. Known them for a few years.
Oh, yeah, they got Fly. Yeah, Fly.
Yeah. So
but I think D-Rob.
That's D-Rob game. I'm going to tell you, I think it's going to be a great game. I think it's going to be a really, really, really great game, man. But we can't have clean sweeps here. Come on now. It's Football Focus Weekly.
Hey, I don't care.
All right, so now I'm going to stop sharing the screen because we got an important topic to talk about. I'm going to bring everybody on.
I'm on the show right now.
You better not be talking about foolishness.
Hold on. I think Justin doing some little pimping. Let me take him off. All right.
Yeah.
Let me know when you're ready.
Otis.
He got about.
That's my guy, Otis.
He got about 7 of them over there now, so I don't know. Look like he's still talking. We're gonna wait for him.
Man, you gotta say the pimper for after the show, man.
Hey, Otis, look who's watching. Hold on now, look at this. Phil Johnson. Phil Johnson watching the show. What?
Man, I forgot his son is playing at J.M. Robinson.
He's gonna kill me. He
was around our ankles and knees when we was at Harding. Now
I know, man.
Football.
and he's pretty good too. That's the cool thing about it. All right, so let's see, Justin, you ready? Give me a thumbs up if you're ready.
Pimping ain't easy. I see you.
All right, he's ready. All right,
man, you need to come. Do you need to come to Coach Bill's class, the master class?
I
got pamphlets. I got worksheets and everything for you, bro. Just let me know.
All right, man. We'll set something up.
I talked to Justin. He don't need a lot of help.
I got him, bro.
I'm just saying, man. Let's
talk about this Garinger situation, man. Let's talk about that later.
Yeah, man. So, all right, I'm gonna let y'all go first because I some stuff to say.
Hey, well, I'll start up because I got ties too.
Let's go solo. All right, go ahead.
My ex-wife is Garinger alum, and I know about Garinger. Being born and raised from the greatest city in the world, Charlotte, North Carolina. One thing I would tell you is, y'all, I see a lot of the mentions and all that. Don't put down that administration, on that AD. Sometimes people come in with camouflage, and they would say they're here for these kids and whoop, 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 whoop. I didn't like it. I ain't like how bro presented himself to the Charlotte Observer. You don't quit on no kids before the game. That's a coward. That's what cowards do. You go in there to Garinger, it's a situation where them kids, they already going through a lot of stuff and their lives already. And for you to quit, you add some more stones to them and just quit on them. That's terrible. Garinger, I know everybody like to pick on Garinger on the G and all that, but they're kids. You don't pick on kids, especially as grown folks. You don't quit on kids because they hold on to that. And I think how he handled that situation, it was wrong. You don't go, even how he told him to go out there and be you. You don't tell me that. You can't tell 17, 16-year-old Coach Billups just go out there and be you. Because, hey, man, you're a quitter. I hold on to that. And I don't think he did that right. This ain't the first time he did it. He did it in Georgia, I want to say. So I have confidence in that administration and that athletic director that they're gonna get somebody in there who wants to be there. And I challenge some of these coaches who coordinators right now, who retired. Caldwell, I really want Caldwell to come back. I want Ty's Rory to get a chance. Rory really does deserve a chance to be the head coach of that program. I think he's an excellent leader. And I knew it was something funny when I asked Pep, was Rory even coaching this year? And Pep told me no. That's a shame when somebody like Ty is not coaching because he's an asset. You want people like him on there. So this is me telling you, Garinger, you see I got the blue, my aura is blue because that's how I am, man. I'm just Zen mode, I'm just chilling, man. You know how Coach Billups do. But I think Roy should get that head coaching job. And don't ever quit on nobody. Kenny is hot. Cause me and Kenny know, even oldest know, you don't give up on no kids. You don't give up. I don't care what the adults are doing or what's going on in that building, you don't give up. Like, we're coming off a tough loss on Friday, but we didn't give up on them kids. We just got back to work. And that's why I had to show my face, because I had to make sure the whole state know, the whole city know. Coach Billups don't run for no smoke. Yeah, we caught that L, but we coming back. That's what we do. That's what the West Side does, because that's how we built and bred in Charlotte, North Carolina. But Garinger, I know East Charlotte. East Side Charlotte, I had to say there was another side of Charlotte that I really wouldn't want to fool with, is that East Side, because them boys, they ain't no quitter. They get up, they don't matter what they're going through. They don't get up and they don't hit you back in the mouth. So Garinger, I want y'all to get somebody who's going to pour into them kids, who's going to pour into them. I'm not talking about this coach. You got to pour into them. You got to be there. Being a coach ain't about just X's and O's. It's about being an example. And that's not being an example. We don't quit on kids, no matter how tough the situation is, what's going on in our personal life. I coach a whole year at Providence going through a divorce. I was crying in the car some nights, and I'm man enough to admit that sometimes I went through some stuff. But them kids never seen, because they were pulling me up. When you give a kid the shirt off your back, they don't give you the shirt off their back. They don't run from walls and stuff like that. That's why I don't gotta speak on my coaching ability, because people who are around me, they know when I come to work. Oldest see me at West Charlotte now. Oldest be laughing because I'm the last one there. I'm first one there, last one there. I'll wash jersey, do whatever I gotta do. I go dick, spend some money, drop a bag. That ain't nothing. But that's what we do, because I treat them kids like I treat my two babies. And y'all know on CFI, I love my babies. My babies make me cry. I ain't too proud to say I cry sometimes, but that's what I do. But that's what we do as men and women, especially in this ordeal right now. We're going through some tough time, and we need people who don't pour into our kids, who's don't lean on our kids. And he's a coward. I don't care what the situation was. He's a coward. and he should never get a job in Charlotte Mac. He needs to step down out of that position at that school. You don't need to be teaching your kids. You don't need to be doing that. You don't want no quitter because he don't get his way teaching our youth, because the youth is tomorrow. I believe the children are the future. Like Whitney Houston should tell you, teach them well and let them lead the way. Woo! Coach Bill's on one today, boy.
All right, Kenny. Solo to you, man.
I mean, I think Coach Billups has said pretty much everything that needs to be said. You know, Coach Billups had me thinking back during the American Revolution, General Washington, George Washington, our first president, Washington, passed a law, passed a rule inside the military. Coach Billups probably learned about it to discourage men were running away, men were deserting in large numbers. And George Washington passed a rule that said, if you get caught deserting, you will be hung on the spot. In fact, George Washington passed a rule that said, if you see someone deserting in the act of it, it was okay to shoot them in the back. That's what he thought about running away. And there is absolutely no excuse, barring a coach being in the hospital. There is no excuse for a coach to quit on a Friday afternoon just hours before the game. It's cowardice. It's disgusting. When I found out about it, it made me want to throw up. I could not believe it because I know how much players and coaches, how important that relationship is. Next to a faith and a religion, a higher being, next to your family, maybe the most special relationship that a man has is the relationship that he has with his high school football coach. And to walk out on a group of guys to say, you be you, good luck, to say in the newspaper that I was told that I was going to be able to help out the kids and they're not helping me. Let me tell you something. You didn't help out anybody. 35, 40, 45, 50 kids, whatever Garinger has in their program, you walked out on every single one of them. You turned your back on every single one of them. I don't know how you show up to work on Friday morning in that situation. I don't know how you show up on Monday. I don't know how you look at yourself in the mirror. I don't know how you call yourself a man. I'm just going to keep it real with you because that's how disgusted I was when I found that out Friday night, or I think it was Friday night when it came out, Thursday night.
Thursday. It was Thursday.
Thursday night.
Thursday afternoon.
Exactly right. And then Coach Billups said it as well. They got to get somebody in there who loves those kids. You know, let's be real with it. I'm the only white dude on this panel. I get it. Like, you can't be the great white savior. Not everybody's made to be that. And Garinger maybe was looking for the great white savior, and that's not what they found. They found somebody who, Coach Billups' politics words, who was wearing some camouflage. It's disgusting. Coach Caldwell did a great job. If you know me, you know how much I love Coach Caldwell, man. That joker came to all of my 7-on-7 for years. Great relationship with him. You know, he's retired now. Coach Billups brought up my dude, Coach Rory. I know he's watching tonight. Coach Rory, man, I think it's –
give him a chance.
Give him a chance, and I'll leave it at that.
Give him a chance.
All right, guys. Who else has something to say on this?
I mean, personally, Pat, man, I think that it was a coward move to quit. You knew you wanted to quit Monday. You knew you wanted to quit that Saturday or last Friday, but to quit the day before the game or at pregame meal to tell your boys that you're gonna walk away from them and not coach them. Those young men, some of these guys, they look up to us like father figures, big brothers. And to walk out on them is just wrong. Now, what Garinger does here going forward, like Bill said, it's gonna take a special person that wants to step into that challenge. And they're gonna have to give somebody a chance. They're gonna have to get somebody that really wants to coach at a high level and understand what Garinger is going through, and somebody that knows the city and understand what those kids are going through, what they're gonna deal with every day, and what they're gonna face on Friday night. Because you gotta go in there and build up from the ground up. Now I know Caldwell personally, and I like what he was doing, and even talking with some people in my circle that were at the game with Miles Park, those kids kept fighting, they kept playing, and they were 10 times better than they were last year. So, the man did something right, but it wasn't enough for him to stay. And those kids need somebody that wants to be there. And the administration got to know they got to give whatever coach comes there at least 4 or 5 years, and they got to find somebody that's willing to stay there for 4 or 5 years to rebuild and make it work. They just got to find the right person.
Titus Roy, he's still there. I'm telling you.
Billups, you there? I mean, there's a lot of people that we can say could be there. Billups, you could be there.
Well, you want to know something funny about me? Is I almost went there when I didn't go to West Charlotte. There's 2 jobs that I'll tell you. Everybody know I'm at West Charlotte. I ain't West Charlotte. This ain't no shot at Sam. I'm not at West Charlotte for Sam. I'm at West Charlotte for 2 things. One, my dog is the AD. Josh Harris is my dog. That's my brother. He's my brother from another mother. I would do anything to make sure he's successful. And that's why I'm thinking about newsflash. I'm thinking about coming back to CMS and Pep. No, that's saying a lot for me because I didn't want to come back. Look, Kenny, like, oh Lord, I might be coming back.
Don't do it.
And number 2, I'm a diehard. I'm a 4th generation Lion, and I live in the community. I live right behind Friendship. These are my people. I know what the West Side does. I know what the Ford does. Everybody think we a bunch of thugs, gangsters, and stuff like that. Coach Billups is a warrior. He ain't no thug. He ain't no gangster. I'm a warrior. I bled for my country. I bled for that school. That I have. I sleep, eat, Lion pride. Garinger. It had to be the right city. Now, Josh goes Garinger. Guess where Coach Billups going? He going Garinger. That's just now. I'm attached to Josh Harris, but I wanted to have aspirations to be head coach. I would take that job. But right now, I don't have aspirations. I have aspirations to be an outstanding and on time father. That's my thing. You know, that's the only thing that really drives me away from football a little bit is me being a father. And Powell know I'm telling the truth because Powell know I know I could be a head coach. I know what I could do. I know what I bring to the table. I know my energy because I pour into kids. Everything I do is for the kids. But right now, Titus Roy is the choice. That's not me saying I would not. I love challenges. I've been at Hopewell when everybody thought calling them hopeless. That's why I like what Bird, Coach Grice, all of them are doing at Hopewell because they're fighting for them kids and you got to pour into these kids. I like what's going on at Harding. I love what's going on Barry because them kids used to be a joke, but now they talking junk. I like that big boy talk. You know me. I love a little smoke because Coach Billups don't come on the pressure. That's how diamonds are being made. Coach Billups a diamond. He don't crumble on the pressure. He's been in all kinds of pressure situations. That's why I just come show my face.
All right. Coach Billups. That's a great sell job, Coach. All right, so
I don't need to sell me. They know the product. The dope sell itself, like Blue Magic. Hey, it sell itself.
Okay. All right. So there we go. So here's what I got to say, man. And to what you guys said, you know, I'm gonna echo some of those points, but I want to just kind of talk about a situation that I've been in, and it was at Waddell High School, 2008, I believe. We went to a scrimmage, and Brandon's heard this story before. We were in a situation where we had 12 kids. We went to a scrimmage at Myers Park with 12 kids on the activity bus. The defense was literally on the field. I was offense coordinator. Coach Hines was our head coach. Quentin Hines, great guy, was our head coach. He was coaching the defense. Of course, I was coaching offense. And we had 12 kids. We had one of our players go down and get hurt. Quarterback was the only one that didn't play defense. And, of course, he had to go in and play defense, play defensive end. We went to that scrimmage and, busted our tails. We scored a few times. We didn't look bad, but you found a way to make it work. You know, we had 20 kids that were ruled ineligible at the start of practice on August 1st. It would have been very easy for us to go back and say, hey, we are not going to play football on the varsity level this year. But we knew what those kids needed and what those kids deserved. And that was guys like us pouring into them, like you guys were saying, and fighting for them and giving them something to be positive about. Those 12 kids I will remember for the rest of my life. They ended up getting the 19 kids. We had 7 kids we got when school started. We won a game that year against Berry when they were young, before they were really getting going. But that was the most rewarding victory I had in my coaching career. We had guys that went on and did some really good things in life. Montrez Walker coaches G-Top Sabres, one of the best youth teams in the city, for an example. And it makes me so proud. If you quit on kids, they may not go on and do great things like that young man's doing. And some of those other kids that are doing in life. Dontarius Dawkins, that was our quarterback, has a young son now. He's doing well, in the corporate world. You don't know what kind of effect you're going to have on a kid's life. And you give up on a kid, he may give up on himself. That is just despicable, and it echoes what Coach McClamrock and Coach Billups, Coach Powell said. You can't give up on kids, man. You can't give up on kids. You don't know what their life could be like with you being in it. There's another kid off that team, Chris Nixon, who's going out and he made something of himself. He's a professional model making 3 times the money that I'm making. You want those kids to be better than you, man. And you don't give them a chance, they'll never be that. I do want to share something from, some people that are very close to Garinger. Apparently, they've named an interim coach. I won't share his name because I know it hadn't been made public yet. But they have a statement. They say, "We want to thank Coach Fowler for all his hard work that he put in the past 18 months. It is unfortunate how things happen, but the rest of the staff elected to stay on, and we are excited about the opportunity to represent Garinger High School." He goes on to say, to summarize, they've had a great week of practice. They're excited about the opportunity, about what they can show as a staff that's united. They say the administration is all behind them. The parents have been outstanding. So they're very excited to have this opportunity. So that's great to hear, because in the midst of things, we talk about other guys that may come in at the end of the season. They still have a season to play. They still got 6 games. You got to hold that thing together right now. And it's good to hear that they have a group of guys that are motivated and excited to pour into those kids, because right now, more than ever, that's what they need. And I'm glad that they have it over there at Garinger High School. Okay. All right, great job addressing that.
Hey man, let the queen talk. She was all in a tizzy in the back.
I was not having a tizzy, but I did get cut off when I was trying to make my point.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Cut you off. I ain't cut you off. You thought I cut you off.
Sorry. You just laughed.
Because I was gonna cut you off. I would have took you off the string altogether and went and brought you back.
Solo to the queen. I'm sorry.
I mean, all I was gonna say, because Coach Powell made a good point, about being a father figure in these kids' lives. And I know for me growing up, we used to pick on Garinger as a whole, entity, and there were a lot of harsh things that were said about that school. So, I understand from that standpoint, what it's like I said, growing up in that community, that neighborhood that's right behind that school. And, those neighborhoods that reach back there, they go through a lot. And, just to hear that this coach did this, it's disheartening and it's heartbreaking. And for me, I just wanted to say that because I just thought that, that's a lot to have to deal with, with everything else, like y'all have said, that they are going through anyway.
Thank you, Queen. That's well said right there. Thank you so much for that. All right, guys, that was a great job addressing that topic. And hopefully, we got some stability over there, and then we'll see what happens, at the end of the season, for Garinger. Okay, now I'm gonna put everybody in the background because I'm probably about to get some more hate mail, because I that's what I seem to draw all of a sudden is hate mail. But I'm only kidding. All right, so this is gonna be the first ever. If you followed CFI for the past couple of years, we've done this. We'll do it on a weekly basis, and I'm getting it up on the screen. It's the CMS Best To Last. So what the CMS Best To Last is a ranking of all 19 high schools in CMS from best to last, or we do it in reverse order. But it's just all going to be on the screen tonight because I didn't have time to put all that together. All right, so I'll get the screen back up here and get that set up. And we're going to reveal the first ever CMS Best to Last for this spring season. So let's get that up. We're going to go to it. All right. So now let's bring on that Charlotte crew we had. Let's bring on, okay, the Queen looks like she may be a little busy. All right. Brandon, Justin, Billups. Let's see. Otis, you want to be a part of this?
Man, the disrespect.
I see. Here we go. All right. So this is all me. So direct all hate mail to Pet Man.
Yeah.
Don't send it to nobody
please
else.
say that again. Please say that again. Please say that again. Lord,
I've been saying it every week.
please say that again because Lord, my back is sore of all the darn arrows, shots. I'm getting, Lord Jesus.
I'm easily found, man. I'm at the games. I'm on the sideline. You know, I'll be at 3 games this week. So get 19 Garinger, 18 North Mech, 17 Harding, 16 East Mech. And y'all see it on the screen, 15, and just so forth and so on. Just a few general thoughts on this. This is pretty much a power poll. And power poll is if you think this team will beat this team, so forth, so on. So Vance, of course, they look awesome. The defending state champs, of course, they deserve to be number 1. I thought Butler was really impressive last week with Rocky River. Mallard Creek, even though they lost, we know, the pedigree of talent that's in that program. Olympic was impressive over Harding. RG Kill, did their thing against South Mech. And then Myers Park looked good. Keep Huff at 7 because we know 7-0. It's still a victory. I don't want to penalize them for a victory. Providence, I thought looked good. Barry looked good. We talked about Hopewell and how impressive they looked, even though it was in defeat. Independence, Kenny talked about that game, with Hickory Ridge being, really impressive, So, when you look at this thing, number 1, we do this on week-to-week basis. This is not what I think the end of the season is going to look like. This is based on what I see on the field every
That's
week.
what he think.
Okay?
That's what he think the end of the season will look like, guys.
Thank you, Billups. Thank you. I appreciate it.
So when you made a poll, did you ask people?
This is just mine.
No, it's just him.
Just mine.
All his.
Hey, can I say one thing?
So it's not a poll then. It's a poll when you ask people.
It's called the CMS Best to Last. That's what it's called.
So this is why I say this is disrespectful. North Mech haven't played one game yet.
I know.
And you put them over Canada. That's why I said, "Ooh, that's disrespectful."
Well, that's just how I feel right now.
Given the circumstances.
And then, man, it's a lot of disrespect. And then, hey, thank you for 13.
Well, can I put everyone at number 8? And if I put everyone at number 8, there's no disrespect.
No, this you, bro. This you, bro. You do you. I ride or die with you. You my guy. I just said that's a little disrespectful, but hey, I love you. Put us at 13.
Thoughts?
Well,
Butler and Vance don't stay on top of that thing. Butler and Vance are the best teams in Charlotte right now. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that. I don't know. I think Olympic got Creek beat right now. Just right now.
Okay.
I
can see that.
Phillips, you told me that you're supposed to be a little politically correct on this.
I am politically correct. Hey.
History says right now, let's just look at the last 2 to 3 years of football. Myers Park is better than Olympic.
There we go. I was about to say that. I was about to say Myers Park.
But you're right. Hey, you're right though. But at the same time, I'll tell you this: that Garinger team, I was impressed with what they did to get beat. How they got beat. I'm really big on more victories only for my minor league coaches. But
I mean, like the person that told me about the game, that was at the game, that watched the game.
That's the best Garinger team we don't see in years.
He said that was the best Garinger team, discipline-wise, that he's seen in years. But the thing that hurt them is what's been hurting all of us that are at schools that are under 25, 30 kids.
Numbers.
Myers Park is sitting over there with 90. And Garinger's at 25. When they drop to their 2s to give their 1s a break, it's off. So yeah. I'm not. I mean, I think Miles Park should be at 3.
I'll
Okay.
take that.
Be a little
Okay.
farther down because a 27-7 loss to Vance, it says a lot. It says a lot about the Vance coaching staff.
It says a lot about Creek.
those Vance players and that rivalry game.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're used to that game being a 3.4-point win for either team. And
Yeah.
you're looking for it to be a dogfight it's gonna be a defensive battle for both teams. And
Yeah.
for whoever got the ball last in the Vance Mallard Creek game, you get that team the edge right there to win the ball game.
Yeah. And I can't really say too much about that game because I got family on that Vance team, on that Vance staff, and they told me some things, and I was like, oh Lord, Vance dangerous. I'll just go ahead and tell y'all, hey, Vance feel like they're the most disrespected team in the city. I'll tell you that because everybody, especially that defense, because we always saying how they don't respond without having power and Stephon. And let me tell y'all something. When I watched that video and I saw one of the most disrespectful acts I ever seen in Charlotte football history, when I saw Vance plant that flag on Creek logo,
Oh yeah.
I said, these boys are different this year. They're a bunch of goons out there this year. Vance, y'all thought Vance was thugs last year? They're goons. They taking your lunch. Vance. Whew. Hey, when we play them, we don't have to buck the chin straps up. Because I'll tell you, Vance on a mission this year. That whole coaching staff, the players, they all feel disrespected. So that's all I'll say.
You gotta find something to give you an edge in playing football.
That's what I was getting ready to say. Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say.
Vance has done that. They found the edge and they found something that everybody can hang their hat on. Oh, we're not gonna be that good with our power echoes. We're not gonna be that good with this person. Our offense can't put points on the board. And they showed you what they could do. They took one of the so-called powerhouses in the state and they beat them by 20.
Yeah. And Butler had a big win too.
Oh yeah.
That was a big win.
I'll tell you, as impressive as Vance was in the video that I saw and the things Cherie shared with us, Brandon, I know you can attest, Butler was just probably as impressive. I mean, there were times on kickoffs where, I was worried. I was really worried about, what was going to happen because, you could just see that's another team that, I kind of feel like they have that same kind of edge, because everyone's talking about Vance and the state championship and all this. And even in, some other polls that were out there, they weren't even ranked, which, I thought was incredulous.
It's like Coach McFadden said, y'all must not got the updated roster because I tell you what, you don't think Butler got some of the top players in the state of North Carolina on that team. Yeah. And I got, they got another one of my dogs. They got my boy Jake Snap. But even with that running back from Independence, they got that boy from Independence. That boy was running like a madman on Friday. Yes. And they feel disrespected. Yes. So when a team feels disrespected, they don't show you something. But I tell you, don't count Huff out the picture yet. Huff always Huff always starts off slow. But when they get that thing clicking, it's gonna be bring you popcorn.
Well, let me go ahead and set the internet on fire. If you come out against Hopewell and you only put up 7 points, I give Bird, I give Bright, I give the OCL Huff all the credit in the world. They kept them boys ready to play against Huff. So now you got to go to Mooresville, which you don't like, you don't care for, and those kids going to chip on their shoulder. If you don't come out and win big against Mooresville and you lose, you might as well say you lost to Hopewell and you 0-2 in the IMAC because now you become biscuit meat and everybody's looking to get a piece of that honey biscuit, and y'all know how it is to go to Church's Chicken and get one of them honey biscuits when they come out the oven, and everybody gonna be licking their chops to get it hooked.
But yeah, I like the list. I like it. I think South Met, now that they some of their players are done playing basketball, I think you might see what we expected from
That's
Joe's
a good
team.
point. That's a good point.
You know what I'm saying? So you might see it, and then like I said, man, I don't speak much on my team. We just don't have to show up. That's all we gotta do. We just gotta show up.
Right.
And you know what? You just said something. South Met gonna get some basketball players back. Hardin is gonna get some basketball players back. Met gonna get some basketball players back. And it's gonna be some kids that pick up and bring those teams a little bit better than they were week 1. So week 2 is gonna be very, very interesting to what we do in the city and the surrounding areas.
Yeah. Long as nobody play Lake Norman. I'll tell y'all that. Stay away from Lake Norman right now. Lord Jesus.
Justin, Brandon, y'all got anything to add?
I think 1 and 2 definitely. There's no question. There's no debate there. And the scary thing is about Vance and Butler. They're only going to get better. I mean, this is just a starting point. As the weeks go on, they're going to fine tune some things and get even better. You can just see the confidence Butler already has. And Olympic, RGK, Myers Park. I'm sure they're looking at this. They probably have some things to say, like how are we behind a team that lost, but they should only use that as motivation. But 1 and 2, there's no debate, and they're only gonna get better. But I think this list is gonna sort itself out a little bit more as we get into like 2 and 3. Week 2, week 3, you get a little larger body of work. It's gonna come a lot clearer.
Well, I'll go ahead and say this. I'll go ahead and call some turmoil. If Creek lose to Lake Norman, there's gonna be a lot of people questioning that hire. Not us coaches, because we know what Tinsley brings, but there'll be a lot of people in that community that be like, is this what we got? And I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all, Lake Norman for real, and Lake Norman don't get him a game. Powell's at the game. Lake Norman, they different this year. I don't know what it is. They different this year. And Coach O, he has the advantage over him and Coach Nixon at Morphy, they have the advantage over the whole IMET, because they haven't got shut down. They've been going the whole time. And Friday, it showed. Like, I was on the sideline. I had to tell Coach Oliphant, I just sent him a message on Twitter and say, hey, bro, you got to stick this year. And they got to stick. They got to stick this year. And they're one of the most fundamentally sound team. And they like right now, everybody's behind the 8 ball in the weight room, and they keep going. So and no excuse. I don't live with no excuse. They beat us fair and square. But I'll tell you what, hey, y'all keep an eye on Lake Norman.
Justin, you got anything to add?
It's interesting list that you got here. I just want to see who's going to shake it up. Who's going to shake this list up? I think Myers Park definitely should be 3 or 4. I agree with that. But like you said, it's only week 1. Some teams haven't played. Some teams played in conditions they've never played in before. So we're gonna see. I think it's gonna be a team out of the Southwest 4A that's gonna shake it up though. But I'm gonna wait till week 2, week 3 to talk about that. So
okay.
He talking about his Eagles, guys. He talking about his Eagles because he was upset Friday. I saw how he was looking on Thursday. He was upset. Pep, he was upset. He didn't want to tweet. He was bamboozled.
I got to see Coach Fortune, so I was actually cool that night. You know what I'm saying?
He was bamboozled. Justin ended up being cool, coming. He was bamboozled. I know Justin. He was bamboozled because he was all hype. He had his old Eagle gear on. He was out there chirping like an eagle, doing the eagle call and all that.
And he dropped down to get your eagle on, though. That's the question.
And you drop down, get your ego on, you need to get out of this group. You know, I don't see that Lion crew no more. Powell got his spot desperate now. And he was out there, and that Powell. Me and you, hey, Pal, if that grown man over there tells he was down there at East Met, dropping down to get his ego on, we want him out. We want him out. We want him out. Tell him, Pal, we want him out.
Want him out.
We want him out.
We don't get down like that on the east side.
Good job.
Yeah, you better not. I know some east side.
All right. It is that time now for everyone's favorite segment on CFI with his favorite host, which is not me.
You ever notice how much we're on time, Pep, until Coach Billups gets on the show? And then all of a sudden, each segment gets a little bit longer. It's time for the slime when we go after some knucklehead person, some knucklehead group who did something that's earned them the right to be slimed, just like our favorite Nickelodeon show. And since we got him on the show, Coach Billups, we're going to start with you, baby. Who you sliming this week?
Oh, I know I'm a sliming. We all should be sliming him. It's that Garinger coach. Hey, he a fool. He a coward. I don't want to hear nothing. I heard it all before. But you never walk up behind these kids. Never. Hey, the East Side always, they don't forget. They always remember now. You better learn that. Welcome to Charlotte. I'm out.
The one who always has 43 people to slime, the queen. Who you got this week?
So I have 40 something to slime, but it's not people, it's degrees and rain. I am sliming last Friday's weather. I'm all about football weather. I will stand out there, 3-4 hours if I need to. But by the time I got to about 3 minutes left in that game, I was calling my Uber to come and get me because it was just, and congrats to both teams for being able to come out there and play in those conditions. But I'm sliming that weather last Friday.
I've given him a little bit of time to get his thoughts in line. Well, we're going to the young buck, just the realest. Who you sliming this week, man?
I got a few people to slime this week, man. First off, I'm a piggyback off Cherie. I want to slime whoever made the executive decision to have half the games on Thursdays and have half the games on Fridays, where they should just made all the games on Thursdays, because I was freezing. My tail-off at that game had 2 jackets. All my comfortable shoes are like fly-knit material, so all the rain was just coming through my shoes. My shoes was wet, my socks was wet, and my phone got wet. So I had to come home and put it in rice. So I was not happy. The next few people I want to slime are all the old heads that are hating on these the young generation that's posting with the highlight film after the game, even though they lost. It's a new generation now. You just got to embrace it. We have the good graphic and videographers out here, and a lot of kids are they're using that. So I see a lot of old heads on the line and saying you shouldn't be posting that. You should be focusing on your game. But hey, this how kids interact nowadays. So just old heads, just back off. Let us do us. That's it.
I've got so many questions about the videos after the games, man. Like, how do you set that up? How much do those people pay? I love it personally. Anyhow, I'm an old head. Producer Brandon, who we sliming this week?
Wasn't too hard for me this week based on the news. I got to slime Governor Greg Abbott of Texas for opening up the whole state 100%. I get it. The local economy is suffering. You want to get, businesses going. You want to get people back out there. You want to give people their freedom back. But I don't see how any data suggests that it's time to do that already. Eventually, maybe as more people get vaccinated down later in the year, maybe. But just to say, hey, 100%, that's going to give off the impression that everything's back to normal to those people. And I think you're just giving the wrong idea. Yeah, of course, someone can wear a mask if they so choose to, but I just think opening the floodgates this soon could potentially be disastrous for certain people out there. And you're going to have people that ultimately pay the price for his decision. So, Greg Abbott, you slime.
We got our new favorite guest, Coach Powell. Who you sliming this week, man?
I'm sliming all the ADs that didn't make the decision to switch the games to Thursday night or playing on Saturday to give the kids a better chance to play in a drier game, to play in a better atmosphere, and also the North Carolina High School Athletic Association for not upping the pay for referees in this pandemic. Like a lot of these guys are refereeing 2-3 basketball games and football games and volleyball games and soccer games. It's a lot going on for referees. And so the numbers are not what they normally are because guys are short and they're calling more games. upping the pace so we can get more refs and officials out the games. So maybe we could have all the games on Thursday instead of splitting them up how they did. So North Carolina High School Athletic Association, I slime you. Let's get it together and pay these officials. We need these officials out here on the game, out here on the field to call a better game, JV and varsity.
That's good stuff, Coach. I was talking to an official who watches this show, by the way. He's a white hat, and he told me going into week 1 that his association was about 40% down from the number of officials that they had last year for football. That's a great point, man. Pay these officials, give them their money, which the problem is makes it tough because the schools aren't making any money right now. Pep, who we sliming this week?
Boy, oh boy, there was a lot of ways this could have went. But I tell you, I was at a game. I'm not going to say where, but I'm sliming. And I know we've been pent up. We've been in this pandemic for so long. We've waited forever for high school football to come back. But I'm sliming stupid fans that say stupid things, yelling at people at the game, namely coaches. I had this guy. He was screaming at this game I was at. Hey, we got to pass the ball. We're down. Why are you running the ball? They start passing the ball. A certain kid comes into the game. Hey, give number 22 the ball. Let him run it. See what he can do. Give him the ball. Why are we passing? We're down. It doesn't matter now. Needless to say, he was very swiftly escorted out after he tried to charge toward the sideline from the crowd. So, as an OC, Kenny, Otis, you hear these stupid play call suggestions with just don't make any asinine sense. One time, someone passed a napkin down at Harding with a play scribbled up with 7 people on it and said, run this, you'll score. He must have gotten that play from Tecmo Super Bowl because it only had 7 people on it. I mean, I don't get it, man, but that's who's getting slimed. Just sit there and enjoy the game and support the kids, man. Come on now. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I'll never forget, Pep. It was 2012. I was an assistant coach at Concord High School, and we're playing in the state championship game. And somewhere around the second quarter, somebody behind us in the stands, I wore double headsets because I wanted to play in the wintertime, and I like to keep my ears warm, but I had my headsets off. I was talking to my guys, and I hear somebody yell something. It was the most incredible thing I've ever heard in my life. He said, "Hey, coach, you got to block somebody." And I thought to myself, that's what we forgot to do this week. I got on the headsets. I said, Coach Paget, we forgot to talk about blocking this week. God, dog, I knew we were thinking about it. I turned around, I told the guy, thank you very much for that tip, and we went on and we kept playing the rest of the game. So I appreciate the fan support. They tell you got to tackle somebody. They tell you to stop running the ball up the middle where everybody is, and they tell you what person you need to give the football to, Pep. What else do you need from a bunch of fans behind you? I think I'm the last one. I think we got everybody. My slime this week, I'm going with a group of people. And some of you guys know I do driver's ed as my side hustle, what keeps my wife at home. I'm talking to the people who get behind my driver's ed car. They see the yellow driver's head cheese on the top of my car. And when my little girl, who's been driving for all of 23 minutes, is struggling to make a left turn at the light, you decide you're going to start laying on the horn at the freaking girl. Somebody was laying on the horn the other day. I stopped the car. I got a brake on my side. I put the car in park, and I was jumping out to figure out what was going on. I'm like, why are you beeping at me? Is my tire flat? Do I have lights burned out? And they said, nah, I just need you to go. I said, oh, my bad, big dog. This girl's been driving for all of exactly 23 minutes, man. I'm sorry to get in your way in the line of traffic. And I got in the car and we took off. I'm sliming any knucklehead who thinks that they can beep and honk at a driver's ed car. You guys annoy me. That's all I got tonight, Pep.
Hey, I just want to say to everyone that watched tonight, the numbers are awesome. I think this was the most watched show consistently that I can remember, probably since we've been doing this. So thank you to all you fans that are watching. I'm glad football's back in week 1. This is going to be our format for the rest of the season. Till we get to the playoffs, we may do some different things, but you're going to get a college coach every week. You're going to get the blitz every week. You're going to get the review every week. We're going to highlight as many players as we can. So please put the word out. Share with us players that deserve to be recognized, because that's why we do this. This is why Football Focus Weekly is here, to support the players, the coaches, and the programs and the fans, okay? Thank you all so much for your support and watching tonight. We'll see you next week.